people in your country that like to crash planes and stuff, that America's going over there. That's just.
I have no dog in this fight between either of them.
You won't, because Peter.
He was just trying to get a cam girl to teach people trades. So he thought, let's harness this power for good.
So I'm sure what all of our viewers are wondering is, are these on Pornhub?
I do not know.
I will check.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8 of the Unfiltered Podcast.
Welcome back, people.
Just way to jump the gun. Go.
Yes, I did.
Niggas back.
Yep. All right.
Now, we have a guest today. We got Justin here.
How you doing?
There you go. And I think we're going to start off with our crazy quote of the day.
Our crazy quote of the day was brought to you by the light men of Jojo. Mm-hmm. Goats are like mushrooms. When you shoot a duck, I am afraid of toasters.
Perfection.
Great bro.
Remember that, people.
Profound.
just starting shit off right now. Let me tell you.
Lock and roll.
We need to make that a weekly thing. Here's the dumb shit Jojo said in the past. Just keep a list. Every time y'all hear something, just write it down. Put it in your phone, and we'll just go over it.
I don't think my phone got that much room.
I got 2 phones, so I can probably do it.
I'm so
Jojo, I
One of
don't
them's a
know.
flip phone, they don't
You're
count.
the only person that has 2 phones that don't sell weed.
How you know what I do in my spare life?
Because you sit at the house and...
Yeah, that's right.
Jojo has a damn flip phone, and we say he watches stuff. And he said when it's high def, he just turns it sideways, makes the screen a little bit bigger.
Yeah, it does. Just would you like to see it?
I would like to see this.
So, sure. All right.
I missed the call.
That's all.
So you gotta open your phone. You gotta flip it open
Yes.
to see if there's a call or not.
No, because I have it on silent. See, that's YouTube, right?
Jojo, you already got...
Holy shit.
You know what? Let's move on.
Jojo, you already got a
I will
phone.
say he does get the
we
benefit
still need to get pagers.
of the sass.
We do.
Oh, the sass.
He gets a sass.
The close the phone.
I'm sick of this.
I told them we need to go to the club. Jojo need to stroll up on a bitch and flip that phone. Wow, give me your number.
But you gotta hold it by the screen so it comes out and goes straight into her hand.
Exactly. See?
Roll up on a bitch. Hey, give me your number. How could she say no? The shock value enough.
Easily, because we're not in Japan.
It's gonna take her brain a minute to reboot. So at that time, you can just, while it's all jelly and everything, you can definitely get her number. It's
It's going to be that Tom meme. Roll up to a girl, pulls out a flip phone. The girl.
Why is this man carrying a brick?
No, man, no
You
one
gonna
cares that.
get the girls that come to the club looking for drug dealers.
Nah, I'm good.
Look, clearly JoJo knows something she don't know. He's got a flip phone and she doesn't.
Jojo knows a lot more stuff that we don't know. He lives in a different plane.
JoJo knows things that I don't ever want.
He's protecting himself from Skynet. That's what's
Next time you're trying to read someone's mind, you should make sure he has one.
We laugh
He's
now,
been preparing all along.
All right. So we're going to start off our serious shit with so this shit happened. And so first up, we have that a state of emergency was apparently declared.
Now, state of emergency is still clear outside.
Yeah. So this is our second state of emergency. I just want to point out, I was outside earlier yet again, and I still have not seen the emergency.
Man, so there was
just missed it.
Look, there was a state of emergency issued in New York because the measles have been the outbreak in measles have been outrageous.
I'm buying this island, man. Let's send the anti-vaxxers there.
Well, so the problem is now what's happening. They actually implemented a rule in where if you are not vaccinated, like if your kid's not vaccinated, they're not allowed in public areas.
Good.
Point blank. Period.
Good.
Yeah.
And it's because and so that people understand that the measles vaccine is a herd vaccine. It's not like you can't get it and then you'll never get it. It's a herd vaccine, which means that 90%, at least 90% of the population has to get it in order for the measles not to outbreak.
Yeah.
And so what happened is it got so low in this county that actually only 50% of the people record had the vaccination.
Wow.
And so a lot of kids were coming out with the measles, and it's been kind of crazy over there. And people, and the thing with the police that they're saying that, look, we're not saying you can't go out and do your things, but I'm just letting you know that if we find out, you're not going to have to carry your medical records or anything like that. But if something happens and we find out, you can be fined for it. And you could get in trouble because it's considered a state of emergency, and you're blatantly breaking the law.
Just shoot them.
We
They're
should
basically
make
plague
people
cows. They're just plague cows.
Treat them niggas like zombies?
Actually, I got a better. So next time we're at war with another country or whatever, we'll bring the catapults out and just lob those kids into their into their cities.
We'll have them sneezing on blankets so we can.
Yeah.
You know the crazy thing is that parents have been taking their kids to get vaccinated just so they can go in public, and I mean like public areas. And by definition, their definition of public area is any place with more than 10 people.
Oh, okay.
So street corners in New York are usually populated by more than 10 people.
Yeah.
I say that we send everybody who's not vaccinated. They have to live like in a landfill.
No, that's what I'm saying. We're sending. Remember the island I talked about?
I want them to live with garbage. I want them to have to eat.
We can dump garbage. We can dump garbage on the island.
But
That's not a problem. It's
$500
$500 for an island. That's a steal.
$500.
a steal.
Yeah,
We still need to buy.
assuming that there's no more anthrax on the island. It's a steal.
It's
It's probably been washed away by now. I'm sure it rains
hopefully we'll put people over there and find out.
That's the whole point. See, after the anti-vaxxers die, we'll figure out what killed them, whether it was a disease or anthrax, and we just shovel the bodies into the ocean and wash that away. And then
some type of responsibility.
No.
You sign a waiver.
Yeah.
Sign a waiver. If you die, it's because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You came here in the first place.
He died on Super
Who
Bowl.
goes to an island that potentially has anthrax?
Anti-vaxxers. No, you got to do. Look, we got to play. They're not going to do it. Oh, that's fine. They're not going to do it just off rip. We got to play the long con. Okay. So I'm gonna write a book talking about how anthrax is actually healthy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna write a book and like a new age nonsense book about how anthrax is actually healthy, and then they're gonna want to go to the island because there's anthrax there. They can't get it anywhere else. And then once they go to the island. You just got to convince them, though. You got to convince them.
And we got patience.
We
gotta put a little bit of investment in
Island
this.
talk is coming from. Please see the previous video.
Yeah, we talked about getting an island.
I'm serious. We should buy this island.
I am down. I got 500. Well, not right now, but I got 500.
I got 500 right now.
I got $1,
but I have it in my account.
Chip in.
I ain't get
own
paid.
part
You got
of it.
$1?
I got $1.
You can have like a couple grains of sand on the island. That'll be your little like toe hold.
Can I get some anthrax?
At 12 o'clock, I will have
Jojo's gonna have to stand on his tiptoes, like on one corner of the island, just on his tiptoes. Yeah, this is my part of the island.
You stay off my property.
I can't put my feet down or some trespassing.
We're gonna build Jojo a stoop on the island.
You know how wild
You
that
can be stoop kid.
Yes.
You know how wild they be judge or walk up to a girl with a flip phone? I got an island.
Then she's real intrigued. How you afford an island with that?
Do you want to see
Got
how
a damn
damn pictures on it? My flip phone.
These low quality pictures
For
right
80p.
there.
480p.
Here's a selfie
bad.
of me on the island. It's just so, you can't even tell it's him. It's so pixelated.
That's awful. But this whole thing with the fact that the anti-vaxxers have got us to a point where we're in the state of emergency, that should tell people, hey, have you guys thought about not fucking just believing everything on the fucking internet?
Clearly not, Will.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
It makes no
I'm
fucking
serious
sense.
though. Like, so people are still trying to do the whole like, oh, censor them, don't let them do stuff on YouTube. I'm not even for that. Just like I said, throw them in jail because they're practicing medicine without a license. Just throw them in jail. That's a crime.
It's crazy, man. I think realistically, like if nothing changes, this is gonna get worse, and we're gonna have another like crazy measles outbreak. Mm-hmm. And at that point in time, I may go catch me some crime. I may start shooting niggas.
Then they gotta do the purge.
Have you guys ever think this is how the apocalypse is gonna start?
Through social media.
Zombies and everything. Yeah.
Next nigga that sneeze, I'm shooting him. You sweating too hard, you getting shot.
I'm sorry, man. You can't be doing that. You're sneezing at me so crazy, like.
Didn't mean it.
You okay?
I was 5 miles away.
The anti-Vaxxers
But yeah, man, I had to talk about that. That was wild.
That's ridiculous. And this is what kills me too. Is like that's in New York, and like New York people in New York and California always like they'll crack jokes about the South and like haha, whatever. But like we don't have measles, man. Yeah, you talk all the shit you want. You can call me an inbred hick retard all you fucking want. But we don't have fucking measles outbreak.
Because we're all vaccinated.
Yeah, because we're not stupid.
Fucking idiots, man. I hope California gets it next.
They've already had one.
I know, man.
They've already had a couple.
And these outbreaks are getting out of control. Like it.
Well, I'm not really scared for California for having the measles or whatever, because they have a fire season. So every once in a while, the fire
cleans everything up.
They got a seasonal restart button.
A seasonal restart. God has to come by. Hey,
whoa. Need you to stop
We
that.
got two Mexican
that's what we
gangs
need
that
to
worship
do.
the devil over there. That's why.
See, that's what we need to do. We just go to New York with some flamethrowers and just clean it out. Once they all die.
You don't even need a
Let
flamethrower.
me
You
get
know
my
how
family out first. Let's
that fire.
They're not in there with the measles, man.
But the crazy thing, that fire season starts from anything. Like it's just so dry. Like Jojo could smoke a cigarette and burn like half the city.
Take
that, California! The Great Chicago Fire ain't got shit on me.
He is Miss O'Leary's cow. Joe just be standing there, someone's got a lantern, just kick the lantern over. That is something you do. You just sit there staring at it.
I 100% would.
It just starts burning.
Yo, I'm out of Dodge. Audi 2000.
You don't even have to do anything. It's just a point in time.
That nigga with bad breath just got to breathe real hard.
Call him a dragon.
Somebody just come outside not smelling too fresh and the fire started.
A little ashy, a little too ashy, kick his feet together.
Oh!
He snaps his finger like Thanos, but he's so ashy it just catches fire.
That's what modern day Thanos. He goes in the woods, snaps, and kills half forestry. Snaps and kills half the forestry.
Someone who watches this that makes memes, please make a meme of him snapping California away. Like, take one of those videos about how California is going to break off from the United States and just have it turn into dust.
And as it fades away, smoke weed.
People have been saying California is going to break off for a long time. Since whenever I used to live there, people were like, "Oh, it's going to break off in such and such a date." The date just keep pushing further and further back.
It's because there's not a day that it'll happen. It'll literally happen over like thousands and millions of years.
Well, it's not going to happen.
It literally is going to happen over the course of a couple million years, but we're just not going to be here for. All right, man, fuck you.
No balls.
I hope it breaks away whenever the whole entire California just catches measles.
If all of California has measles, we need to send people out there in hazmat suits to just start digging out the trench where the fault line is. Just start digging that out. We'll just
and quarantine.
Dig it out and then just push it away. Heave!
Why don't we take this place and put it somewhere else?
Take California and push it somewhere else.
All right,
what's the next?
Well, next up, we got something about Cardi B.
Oh,
who's gonna tell us about that?
Cardi.
I'm never doing that again.
Cardi B is
yeah, I'm glad that you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a soundboard and put that on there. Just play it at any point during the podcast.
But Cardi B's in the news because she had a Snapchat. One of her Snapchats resurfaced of her saying how back in the day she used to drug niggas and rob them.
Mm-hmm. She Bill Cosby niggas.
Okay.
So and there's like a big outrage about the situation because they're talking about like the double standard. If a guy ever said that they used to drug a female and rob them or do anything to them, they'd be held to a different standard.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing about like her being the fact that she gets away with a lot of things. Like everybody loves her despite everything that she does is because that she's not black or whatever, and that I think is dumb. Whenever they pulled the race card, but like really and truly, her leaving strip clubs with people thinking that they're gonna they're gonna fuck her. Or
Stop trying to fuck.
Yeah, and then she just drugged them and steal from them. They couldn't even really do nothing about it because it's not like they're going to do something that's legal. Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're fucking. That's technically legal. But I guess the fact that they were considering like compensation for money is fucking. But nonetheless,
just say you were going to film it.
Yeah, and then also there's a difference between like.
And then she robbed me, and now I'm not in trouble, and you are.
There's a
4D chess.
Damn. The moment on rock paper scissors Lizard Spock, whatever. But beyond that. But the crazy thing is that
I don't watch nerd blackface, Will. So I
she admitted to this though.
This Big Bang Theory.
So it's not the fact that like it's not like one of those things where she's like, oh, I was doing something illegal and then doing something illegal on top of doing something illegal. She admitted to it.
And what's wild is the choice of words that she was using while she was doing it. She was like, y'all think everything came easy to me? And it was like, I had to rob niggas. Basically, and I'm paraphrasing. She was like, y'all think things came easy to me? I had to work for everything I got. Like luring niggas into hotel rooms and stealing their money after drugging them.
What a hard worker you are. An honest day's wages.
Congratulations.
Right there.
You stole.
This is what kills me. Here's what kills me. All right. So she is admitting to things that she actually did that were wrong, and she did them in the past.
Correct.
And presumably not that long ago past.
Correct.
Okay. But Liam Neeson talks about something that happened 50 years ago that he didn't even end up doing.
Correct.
Yes. And he's just the lynch mob's out for him.
It's because he was white and it was a black thing.
100% what it is.
And be honest with you, Liam Neeson, that what he said was really strong. So
yeah, it was. It was.
He was going out there to fight.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Basketball courts.
I agree with you, but he didn't actually fight and beat someone up.
Fair.
So what I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna have that level of response for him, you should have an even stronger response for someone who actually did used to do shit.
There's a lot of people that are trying to cancel her or whatever.
Yeah. And she's out on Twitter bragging about it too. Yeah. She's like, fuck y'all.
Nothing's gonna happen to her.
You shouldn't glorify shit like that, man.
But that's what the hip hop game has been doing for years.
Yeah. Where have you been, man?
I'm just saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying you shouldn't.
You know what? I think that the guys that she robbed, they should surface right now.
Yeah.
Just like all the women. Yeah.
There's a hashtag surviving Cardi B popping up.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. There's a hashtag surviving Cardi B.
Now that I think about it and remember, I was in a concert, going to a strip club, and I went home with Cardi B. I don't remember what happened.
Who's this Cardi B you speak of? Oh, she looked familiar. She looked like she took my wallet.
So I'm not missing a left shoestring.
Just like plant evidence on it. Throw your wallet in her car as she drives by her son. Just, Cardi, I love you. Hey, she took my wallet.
That's the bitch.
She's not performing. She's on stage performing. You throw your wallet on there. You're like, hey! And then the cops go up there and arrest her mid-show.
You gotta make sure to take a roofie before you throw your thing on there.
Just wake up
with your last breath. Police!
You take your wallet, you throw it on the stage, and then you go get a series of officers, and you wait outside, and you're like, that's her, officer. That's who did it. And then, come on,
Cardi B with her Kung Fu treachery.
But it's crazy, man. It like, and the thing is, a lot of people are also comparing it to like the Bill Cosby situation.
Yeah.
Because the whole allegation, him drugging women and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So like, they're like, we should hold her to some kind of standard. But obviously, it's gonna be a double standard. She's a woman, so they're not gonna scrutinize her as much.
They already get far lighter sentences for everything. Anyways.
Exactly, especially violent
and
crimes.
get lower conviction rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was the guy that surfaced that she actually stole my wallet and everything, I was like, and whenever I woke up, she touched me too.
She touched my.
Well, you can say it was sexual assault. That was rape because she drugged you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is technically rape. So if she
I don't know if
That's
drugging
not
somebody is
how-
rape.
that's not how rape's
It's
defined.
technically poison.
no,
That's not how
it
rape's
can.
defined.
Rape is that by
Unwanted.
most definitions is not able to give not sexual or sexual touching without consent.
But you have to prove that she's sexually touched. That's
That's
just
what I'm
giving
saying.
you the drugs isn't.
No,
enough.
I'm saying if at any point in time there was some kind of sexual touching in the
I thought you
process.
were saying without that. I thought you were saying just giving.
No.
drugging you is rape.
No, I'm saying
Oh, okay.
at any point in time there was any kind of because she had to do some kind of
I've
sexual.
raped myself before. Damn. Drink alcohol. I'm raping myself right now.
And
apparently.
let's be real for a second. In 2019, enough people come out saying that she sexually assaulted them after drugging. They're no matter if charges are dropped, she's gonna lose a lot.
I don't want to talk about drop charges right now.
That's the hot button. That's the hot button.
And that's the perfect segue into.
No, we're not gonna. That'll come up later
I think
because we're gonna have people that are angry about that one.
Fuck it.
I
So
would-
much.
That'll be after the break.
I would be mad that I got robbed and that I technically had sex with Cardi B and I don't remember.
No, you didn't have sex.
Nah, she was finessing it.
Yeah.
That's what-
There was no sex.
There was no sex.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like there was, so she had.
She's not gonna like steal their wallet and be like, it would only be
You know
nice
what,
if
he
I
did
suck his
good
dick.
for this.
Yeah, I should suck his dick at least.
but there's like some
conscious
kind
for
of
it,
like
but, you know.
I've seen
sexual
some movies
touching
like that, Clay.
up to the point till he
Hey,
passed
she
out.
reached in your pocket.
Yeah,
Grab it.
so that's
she
rape.
grazed it all
Rape.
the way in there.
Close enough.
Unless she really wants to troll, and she was like, "All right, I'm a drug this nigga and give him some." And then whenever he wakes up, I don't even remember feeling it. It was like I paid for it, and I still received the service, but I don't get none of the benefit.
Prostitutes take notes.
I almost wish I had a Twitter right now just so I could go on Twitter and be like,
don't actually take notes. Don't actually do this. See the disclaimer at the beginning of the video.
if you're a prostitute and you're listening to this, you need to change your life.
No, actually, thank you, and I hope you learned something from my lessons and teachings on prostitution.
Stop trying to fuck.
You heard
If you're a
JoJo's crazy
prostitute and you're
quote.
listening to this, I don't give a damn what you do. I don't believe in giving hoes money though.
Unless you fucking her family.
Nah. I don't believe in giving hoes money.
But let's move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, all right, we got one more thing for this shit happen. Justin's here to tell us about some bears in Orlando.
Oh,
Well, what
Yes.
happened?
So
Oh yeah, we got two Justins now, don't we?
no, I thought
You're
we were
technically-
talking about something else, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
So two bears were spotted in Orlando outside of a high school. No, it gets better. It gets better.
Is this
So these two bears.
a Florida man story?
So it started off Monday morning, at the beginning of school. They found these two bears, about medium teenage age bears, but and
were they like were they grizzly bears or like black bears,
the picture to show is black bears. It looked
Okay.
like it.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask you, was one of like a panda bear? Like
No,
bears.
but so it of course caused some alarm. But
halfway through a test, you just look out the window. Hey,
What the fuck is that?
his kid's on the playground.
my
How
principal-
strong are these windows?
My old principal would have been like, "Attention students, there's a bears outside. Just let y'all know."
I'm gonna be in my room with the door locked.
I guess I'll go out to the gym or something.
So what made it crazier is across the street from this high school is also an elementary school, and
natural selection's about to happen.
It went on. They stayed in that tree for the whole day. They stayed in the tree for a whole day. The school put both the schools on lockdown. And
It's like they got an active shooter.
so
because the bear was black.
Oh no, it's a black one.
And it has the high ground.
The guy
White kids are catching on. They noticed that they noticed that they can't get away with coming to school and shooting it up. They brought some bears this time. Y'all gonna bully me?
Kids, you better run.
I love that song.
So and then so they said, the administration said, if the bears don't come out by tonight, we're gonna tranquilize them. But their biggest concern the whole time was if they get into traffic, they may cause a pileup.
Why? Hold on. Why did they say if they don't come out by night? Like, why isn't the immediate reaction to just tranquilize them?
That's what I'm saying. They said if they don't come out by tonight, then we tranquilize them. They were gonna let the kids come out.
Those bears are just staking. They've staken that out. That's what they're waiting on.
You see,
That's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
That's the crazy part.
They're waiting for the big one to walk out the lunchroom. That's what they're
Time they were all on
fat
lockdown. So they're all on lockdown. Bell rang, school's out. Y'all not our problems anymore. And they pushed them out of school. And these bears.
Bell rings no longer on lockdown.
They said also the traffic was one of their concerns, but they were scared of where the mother was.
Oh, the mother.
Oh yeah, because
The mother's not there.
Bears.
It was two teenage
people
bears.
whose job it is to handle bears. They get called. They're like, "There's two bears in a tree." And they're like, "Where? You don't know where the mom's at? You didn't mention my name, did you?"
So they also sent the police to go into the school to search for the mom.
The mom bear was in the school?
The mom bear was in the school.
This is wild. This is wild.
It'd be like one of those cartoons, like Scooby Doo or something. Like the bear shows up with like a hat and a dress on and everything like that. And they're just
How the fuck did all these niggas walk in and out of school and not see a whole fucking bear?
No, that's how they found out. They thought all the kids were surrounding this tree, like a big group
I'm
of kids.
talking about inside the fucking school. They went and searched inside the school
Oh,
for
yeah.
the mom bear. Hey, did you guys see a bear in there? Nah, man. We saw no bears. We're going to check just in case. I'm pretty sure we would have saw a whole fucking bear in there.
I mean, look,
They
bears,
just didn't want to be outside where the bear was.
the bears are the stealthiest of all animals. Everyone knows that.
They are technically the strongest land predator. They are the strongest land
That's
predator.
what I'm saying, and the stealthiest. That's what I'm saying.
That's wild.
You don't
You
hear
ever play Red
600.
Dead Redemption 2? They all sneak up on me all the time.
Bears have natural camouflage.
So then they find the mom bear?
As of right now, it's still going on.
This is
Tell them to make some porn.
They got
Are
the
those kids still in the school?
no.
Oh, okay. I thought they were
They
just gonna keep them in there at all times. Just
they got the
like-
two bears down and they brought them to animal control.
Oh, okay.
And they're still trying to find the mom.
Did they know for a fact there was a mom, or are they just assuming there was
Well, they're
a mom?
assuming just because of basic.
The age of the bear.
Yeah,
okay,
the age
okay,
of the bears
okay.
that there's gonna be a mom because they weren't huge. You're like
Yeah.
maybe-
still fucking
Now
4
what
feet
they
long?
need to
Gotcha.
what they need to do
about as tall as
is
JoJo.
yeah.
what they need to do in order to trap the bear. They need to put up some tables or whatever, and then put some picnic baskets.
That's enough.
Or some porridge.
So one of the rumors that went around the school from like people on Twitter was talking about some of the students were trying to name the bears, and one of the most popular names was Yogi. And for one of them, they're gonna name the more aggressive one Yogi.
Because he was the hungry one. He was the hungry one.
You know, I thought
other
that was
one
going to
was
go
Boo Boo.
dark.
I couldn't find anything about the other one.
Like Jamal.
I find that hard to believe because I don't really think parents is paying for boomerang like that. I don't know if they. That's the only way I see. That's the only way I see.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a rumor. It might be something like happened afterwards, but I just imagine kids in their class just looking out. I'm gonna
Kids
name that one
nowadays
Yogi.
don't know what the fuck Yogi Bear is.
You see that one swiping at that officer? Yogi.
That also reminds me of that video. Back in the day, there used to be this salmon video for this guy, and it starts off with these two bears at the river mouth, and this narrator at the river mouth. These grizzly bears taste and catch the juiciest salmon. And he names the guys, the company, spares no ends to get, and the bear knocks the salmon onto the land, and this man comes barreling at him, screaming, "Ah!" runs, drop kicks the bear. The bear gets up.
That CGI.
Yeah, it's old. It's hilarious. And he's like, the bear and him got a stance, and he looks at the bear, look, an eagle! And the bear looks and kicks the bear. If you haven't seen that video, it's really old, but it's really fucking hilarious.
All right, look, if those bears are still there, you said it was near high school, right?
Yeah, it was near high school and elementary school.
So,
think about keeping your kid at home.
Homeschool.
Or if you have to go, all right, then just find the one kid you gotta lure the mom out, okay? So you need to find the least liked kid in the grade and just make him just slather himself in honey and go running around the school grounds.
Well, we need a straw poll for parents. Would you rather send your kids to an unvaccinated school or to one where there's a bear in a tree?
Possibly a bear roaming the halls.
If you're a dad that's tired of paying child support, put some lunch meat in your son's pocket.
Found him.
That's ignorant. Or just not vaccinated.
They're sending him to school with a fanny pack, just like, this is all you'll need to deal with the bear, and just fill it with lunch meat. The same thing.
Smells kind of weird. Don't worry about it.
If the bear confronts you, just open this. It'll fix everything. Just, bear, it comes up, he opens it, just meat falls everywhere. Oh no.
Oh dear God, what have I done?
Now could you imagine if your son survives that and comes home?
It's all torn up.
If he survives it and comes home,
son.
Dad, it worked.
How dare you? You lived, didn't you?
You hit him with that Kevin Hart. I almost lost you today.
Or be like, well, damn, son, I never actually thought you'd go to school. There'd be a whole fucking bear there. At worst, there was a bully, but a bear?
If I had a kid that like a bear was at his school, I'm like, look, we're gonna spend 2 or 3 days training and taking. All right.
He's gonna learn.
That's wild. We need to move on.
Yeah. All right. So, our next segment, we got street tweets, and we're gonna talk about Jordan Peele.
Man, so Jordan Peele he's been getting a lot of support and slack for a tweet he put out. Mm-hmm. So his movie Us came out, and he was like,
now, what is the movie? But like, because I'm not familiar. What is the movie about?
The movie Us is about this black family who goes on vacation, and they see another black family who looks identical to them.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be like there was one following the mom for a long time, and then now when she has a family, she got more doppelgangers or whatever.
So essentially,
Are you saying all black people look the same? That's racist, Will.
It's all
they're
people.
Actually like doppelgangers.
And they all look the same.
Yeah, no.
But
doppelganger.
All black people do look the same. But but what happened? And so the other family is trying to kill the other family and take their spot in their lives. So like you know, like this the great switch. Like imagine you had a twin that you
like
never
Doodle
knew about.
Ball.
But Jordan Peele, he goes like, he's quoted saying, so it says hashtag movie us movie director. Jordan Peele says black actors will continue to be the focus in his films going forward. I don't see myself casting a white dude as the lead. Not that I don't like white dudes, but I've seen that movie. And I mean,
that's fair.
And that's fair. I have nothing against what he said, but a lot of people have given him a lot of slack for it. But he's also got his fair share of support, you know. But
it's probably because he didn't say it on Black History Month. You should have said that.
Yeah, he should have said it like
Black History Month.
A couple months ago, just a month ago. I mean,
it makes no sense to me for you to say that about like a white dude in a movie. I've seen that movie. That you're not describing a movie. You're saying, there's a white guy in it. I've seen
he's saying a white guy playing the lead. And so I guess his idea...
Every movie with a white guy in the lead is the same. I'm just pointing out, like, his logic is fucking retarded. So, look, if Jordan Peele, if he wants to only hire black guys, fine. It's a free country. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be there. But, like, it would make more sense to hire the person who's the most qualified for it as opposed to just hiring based on racial lines. Kind of thought we had... moved past that. You know?
I agree with that.
Moved past, I'm only hiring this race.
If it was a black person, if it was a white person that said that about black people, it would have been a big...
Exactly. There's a double standard. And
I agree.
You can't have double standards. It's horseshit.
I agree. And, you know, Hollywood is very liberal. We already know Hollywood.
That's why he can get away with it. He's just playing to his base. Really. I mean, he probably doesn't even, like, really believe that. Fully, he's probably
he's a comedian, so he probably just said that
it's probably
as a
just
joke. He said it as a joke, and the reporter took it and ran with it
as a real joke, probably because
that's possible.
Hasn't cast a white person as a lead.
Yeah,
except for a leading. He had a leading lady
female and
white
and whatchamacallit, Get Out.
Yeah, but that's what he said. White dude.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm taking it as a sense of. So I'm taking it as one of two ways. We can take it. My sense is that. If it was taken, I don't think it was taken out of context entirely. I think the more context to that was probably like, look, I want to hire more black leads because there needs to be more black representation in Hollywood when it comes to lead actors. And so I'm not saying, I'm saying that's what my job, that's what I'm going to do. I want to input the black leads to have more black representation because I've seen every movie and a lot of movies have white leads. And so when he says, I've seen that movie before, I think he's more or less saying in the sense of, I've seen this white lead movie before. And I get in the same context that it's still like...
The reason I take issue with it is because there's so much like pseudo-intellectual bullshit.
I agree.
This kind of stuff. Like so many people say that like, oh, I'm making a cogent argument right now. You're not actually making an argument.
Fair.
It's not an argument. It's not even a statement, really. It's... Like I said, though, if he wants to do it, I think he should be allowed to do it. I think you should be allowed to hire whoever the hell you want, and if you don't hire the best people, then your business will suffer for it, and the market will decide.
Correct.
I mean, I really think that's... just let that happen. I don't give a fuck if you want to say, like, fuck white people, I'm not going to have a single white person in this movie.
Fair.
Okay? Yeah, it's your fucking movie.
It's not like
it's
not
your goddamn
like he
movie.
actually said that.
No, I know, but I'm saying even if you say that,
like the majority of his first video was white, so like,
yeah. And you know the crazy thing, I think this was a good and a bad thing for him saying this. I think it was bad for the fact that he should have been quoted. His whole thing should have been quoted instead of that one insert. Mm. And it's gonna hurt because a lot of his movie people that watch his movie is the majority is white people because it's the majority is white people. So the thing is,
but you have plenty of white people that'll be like, yeah, man, hang on, you hold the whip. I flagellate myself a little bit more.
Yeah, and how things are nowadays. Somebody's gonna say something. And there's going to be outrage for like a day or two. Yeah. And like, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, no one's going to care. Yeah, I was going to say that actually. It's outrage. It's outrage marketing.
Yeah, agree.
It's just outrage.
And this is him campaigning for more funding for his next movie. He's campaigning for more funding. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's why I'm not like, there's no point getting upset.
But in my personal opinion, like, I think, and there's nothing against his movie, and I think he's doing really well for a black director. But his movie, Get Out, and this movie seems really similar.
Oh, really?
In my personal opinion.
Wait, Get Out and Us?
And Us.
Those two together?
Yeah.
I don't know that
it's not in the movie.
I haven't seen it yet. So.
I think more or less the horror structure behind it. Because, you know, there's a structure to horror movies in general. And I think each one follows a different kind of setup. And I think his is being repeated very free. He's repeating himself kind of in this movie and that movie. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the structure of this movie is repeating himself from the structure of Get Out, and the dynamic seems relatively the same. Think of it's like Tyler Perry. All his fucking movies are the fucking same movie.
I don't know if I'd put that on him just yet. Because this is
this is only the second one.
This is only his
second movie. We're not at Tyler Perry levels yet.
This is only his second movie.
And movies about the same shit.
He doesn't have any reoccurring characters in it so far.
Correct.
And all of us, none of us have seen this movie. So before, you have?
I have seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So have you seen Get Out and Us?
Mm-hmm. I've seen it both.
Do you agree with what I'm saying about it? Seems really the structure seems similar.
I don't know about the structure. Us is a little more bumpy, I will say. But the general idea of how he portrays the horror, I guess you could say the same. Because it's a dark tones and all that, the same way as Get Out was like.
So it's probably
like coloration.
Style.
Yeah,
his style is more similar.
Yeah.
But I will say.
That's kind of like because he's the director.
Yeah, everyone has their style to a movie. I agree with that.
But it feels uniquely itself from Get Out.
Okay. Oh, I mean,
but you could definitely tell Jordan Peele directed it.
Yeah.
The way the style is, it's definitely Jordan Peele, but it's not necessarily doesn't feel identical to Get Out.
Okay, so it's not Get Out too.
It's not Get Out too.
Gotcha.
So I guess we just have to
But
see
it's good,
more
though.
or less.
It's good. It's good.
I definitely
I've been meaning to
see
see the Get Out.
I was supposed to see it.
But Tyme, stop trying to fuck.
I don't. Yeah.
I think personally I like Get Out more, but it's gonna be there's nothing bad really about the movie.
Mm-hmm. Now my question to you is, which movie had you sitting there in the back of your mind? Now run, nigga, run.
None of them, because he can't say that word.
Yeah.
He can't think it.
But to answer the question,
Will's his brother-in-law. He has a couple of those in his pocket. How many times you said it this year?
Listen.
I wasn't there, so I couldn't tally it.
It's 2019. Not gonna.
New year, new me.
Exactly. it's different, but.
I'll say it.
I was gonna say. I think us. To answer your question, us.
Y'all know. I'll say it.
Us definitely a lot more.
Us. Okay.
Yeah.
I think, and some people have been like, I know us has been getting a lot of rave reviews.
Yeah.
I do want to see it.
I can't.
I think us a little more comedic too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because he's
but in a good way.
Okay.
It seems more like instead of a horror, it's more like a thriller than anything.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like a thriller.
It reminds me of like old slasher movies more than anything.
Kind of like
he's a talented comedian. Like
definitely.
I don't know about Key and Peele season 2. There were some good ones, but there were some really bad ones. But Key and Peele season 1 was fucking incredible.
My favorite one was the UFC one.
Yeah.
You can't fight me. You got me fighting a whole crazy person? It's not fair to me. Or him.
I will break his body so his soul can open up to the Lord.
He said, what?
He knows this is fake. We're just going back and forth.
I do love, like, I think
the East-West Bowl, too.
Oh,
introducing all their names, and the one guy just makes the dolphin sound. It's like,
or the construction noise.
Yeah. That was fucking Chewbacca.
one guy had a fucking, he had a line integral. As that's all it was a symbol for a line integral from fucking calculus.
But
fucking vector code.
But I do like Jordan Peele. I think he's very talented as a director. And one thing I do like that we're starting to see more of, in my personal opinion, we're starting to see these black Renaissance men in the industry, like Childish Gambino, Donald Glover for it.
Yeah,
I think everyone knows
Jordan Peele, and like
who directed Black Panther?
No,
I forget his name.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about time, honestly. Cause it's like,
yeah.
I feel like there's been a shortage of like really good role models.
Yeah.
And you could really like,
not that there haven't been good ones, but there haven't been like top tier role models.
I agree.
Not even been a lot of them, you know.
and you can really see like where his statement comes from, kind of.
Yeah.
Like if you look from his point of view, if this is what you wanted to do since you were little, and you don't really see like yourself being represented in the stuff that you do. And plus also whenever you write a character, like usually like if you write a character and you're thinking about a character,
you're thinking how
you're
you
probably
would
thinking you probably have an image similar to yourself in that character. So like I can understand that I can see where he's coming from with this.
And it's one of those.
What I don't get is basing it on like skin tone or whatever. That's the stupid thing to me. Like if you look at a character and like they have like cultural similarities to you, that's relatable. Just seeing someone with the same skin color as you, not really relatable. Like I see fucking, I don't know, pick some Eminem or whatever. I don't really relate to Eminem.
Well,
I didn't grow up anything like Eminem.
Well,
he's white.
I guess the thing is,
he doesn't represent me.
I guess the thing is like if you have these plethora of genres of people, right? And then you have idols in each genre of figures predominantly are white. And what he's saying in his context is that he is trying to
even playing field.
even for him in his aspect. And like I said,
so do you want 50% representation, or do you want 12% or 30%? What percentage is acceptable?
I think for him, what he's saying is that what he's saying for himself, and then this is all interpreting based off of just this one insert. Like I said, we don't have the full context.
Yeah, which I would like to have.
Yeah,
actually see the whole thing.
But
I've heard other quotes like this, so this is still a topic that a lot of people talk about. So
I agree.
We're not even really talking about Jordan Peele in specific,
but in general, I think it's not.
I don't understand seeing like this person has the same skin color as me, therefore I relate to him.
Well,
makes no sense to me.
I agree with that. The thing is, but it's like having the option to see yourself in a person. A lot of kids nowadays, or a lot of kids.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, if the skin tone is where you cut off, that's how I see myself in the movie. You're looking it's too shallow of a view.
I agree.
I don't even.
I see that. I agree with you on that. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, if you want to hire whoever you want, do whatever you want. If you want to push this or that. I don't really keep up with movies anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But I'm saying that if that's like your standard for representation, then I think it's a little too shallow.
That's fair.
I understand that, and also like here to answer your question, where you can see yourself and stuff like that. Have you ever like seen like basically a kid and he dresses up like Superman, and let's say he's not white. Okay. He'd just be like, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm Superman," and then
but kids like, don't care.
Yeah, no, I have heard the kids be like, "Well, no, Superman's not black."
No,
and then you just
other
point
kids,
out that, like, yeah.
But I'm saying the kid himself that's dressing up like Superman, he's not going to care until
the other kid says that.
But so what? Kids say shit like that to each other all the time.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's where the
it's more or less
like where that comes from. Then
putting
I guess I get that.
more heroes out there for
it's more like putting more options for people to give them the chance to see themselves in that predicament. Okay. And I get in the aspect. I guess the best way to put it is what he's doing is he's taking black people and saying, "Come up, I'm writing this role for a black individual." Right? That's his mindset. I'm writing this role for a black individual.
Okay.
And I'm going to hire the best black actor that comes and apply for this role.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah. And so that's why I'm saying, like, he's not scrutinizing where he's saying I'm writing this role for any individual, and then white and black people come in and he prefers the black. He's more or less, I'm writing roles for black individuals.
Even if like say a white and a black person come in, and let's just even say for sake of argument, for whatever reason, somehow the white guy's more qualified and he goes to the black guy. I think that's fine. I think he's got the freedom of association. He should be able to choose to hire whoever he wants. Yeah. I'm not talking about Jordan Peele. I'm talking about in general the representation thing. It makes no sense to me.
So then in the generalization of representation is more or less along the lines of like, I guess the best way to put it is to mute the climate. How divisive the climate has become at this point in time.
I think that's being more divisive though. Like
it is, and
you're pushing things along racial lines, that's going to be divisive.
I agree with
dividing people along their skin color line, which is just. I thought we were past that, honestly.
I do think we should be past that point. I do think we should be, but I think what's happening is we're regressing, and what's happening
definitely regressed. Because like when I was a kid, right? Like Space Jam came out. That was my favorite fucking movie. Didn't matter that Michael Jordan was black. I didn't give a damn. The only white guy in the movie was
the guy that couldn't play basketball.
Yeah, I was gonna say not Dan Aykroyd. It was not Dan. There was a joke about him looking like him.
It was Bill Murray and that other the chubby white guy, the one that was digging.
The guy that was Newman on Seinfeld.
Yeah, I forgot.
I forgot his name.
Yeah. So those are the
and
two.
And Sam,
I didn't relate.
Bill Murray was hooping in there. You guys had representation.
He got 1 point.
Everything.
Everyone's sitting on top of him.
He was like, I'm going to hit the showers. That man had to snap backwards too. Boy, Bill Murray was hooping. You can't say y'all wasn't represented.
No, I wasn't saying we weren't represented. I'm saying because we're talking about leads. We're talking about leads.
Yeah.
We're talking about lead characters, yeah. But that was my favorite fucking movie. I didn't care that he was black. I had fucking Michael Jordan posters in my room. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to play basketball, this shit. Little did I know. I was tall for my grade until like high school rolled around. Yeah, man.
Yeah, like, man. I
was the second tallest kid in my grade. Well, all throughout lower, and then up until almost all the way through middle school.
I guess the best way to put
and after middle school, everyone. I came back from summer one year, and I was like, oh shit.
I guess
I thought we all stopped growing.
I guess the best way to put representation would be the best way to kind of explain it. Would be kind of like sports, like the sports in general.
No, I get wanting to be represented. Like I understand the want to be represented. What I'm saying, I don't think that just throwing more black people in there is going to make you feel actually more represented. And if it does, I don't think you're really looking at it deep enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that.
You actually want what you want are people that are more like you.
Well, that
you can relate to.
For that instance, that's for the adults. Like the adults, that logic, I agree with you, should be the adults that what adults apply. What I'm saying is that this is more for the younger generation growing into it, because they are scrutinized amongst their peers because of the fact that they're like, I wanted to play. I played baseball when I was little, and the biggest thing they always referred to us or little black players was a little Sammy Sosa. Is that's just what they referred to us, or because you were never called
the other kids. You mean?
Yeah.
What grade?
No, not the other kids.
Not other kids. The
coaches
adults,
or whatever.
The coaches and
Sammy
adults.
Sosa.
Now, when you as a kid, I would keep my RBIs and I would keep track of that, and I'm I'm trying to hit like Babe Ruth. I'm trying to hit RBIs like Babe Ruth. I'm trying to hit stuff like Babe Ruth. Yeah. And the biggest dynamic thing was that people were like, well, you hit RBIs like Sammy Sosa. Babe Ruth was kind of a white guy, and so on and so forth. And it seems like a stupid thing to say.
It is a stupid
thing.
But
I agree. But kids are stupid.
No, okay. Yeah, so if it's the kids that are saying that, like big fucking deal. Kids say far worse shit to each other.
You are.
So what I'm saying, if someone says something like that to you, you shouldn't just be like, man, I do wish there were. Just tell them to fuck off.
I agree.
That's
this
the proper
generation
response.
doesn't.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
They need to learn to.
We
need to stop infantilizing them.
Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Rather than infantilizing them and just being like, we'll just try to remove the whole problem. Just learn to stick up for yourself. If someone says like, oh, you're black, you can't be fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you in that.
That is how the climate should be, and I agree with you in that sense.
And so, like,
it's crazy. Like kids nowadays, they'll cut themselves because they're getting bullied. Whenever I got bullied, I stabbed him. Yep.
We don't advocate stabbing people.
Yes, I do. If you're a kid and you're getting bullied, stab.
Yes,
Ladies and please. I'm not even gonna say the words anymore. I'll just do the tone of voice. Just, they know. They've heard it enough times.
And whenever you do that, you just, ladies and gentlemen, you just flash the disclaimer on them.
I've been too lazy to do that, but I've been meaning to go back.
But I agree with the fact.
I just flashing like, no, seriously, look at the disclaimer, arrows.
But I just think and I agree with you. Like we are all at the point where we're mature enough. Like that's how I'm gonna raise my kids. Fuck them. If they can say what they want, fuck them. Yeah. You know. But that's not the majority, and what's happening is the majority's taking over, and so I'm trying to. I guess the best way to put it, play devil's advocate and understand the mindset of where we're going.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm not even saying that you're like bad or anything like that for wanting that. I'm just saying like I don't think it's going to solve the problem.
I agree.
Because like growing up, the race of the person had nothing to do with whether I looked up to that character or not. It was like the farthest thing from my mind. And then now that I'm an adult, I still don't fucking care about the race of the character. I want someone that looks or acts more like me.
Well, actually,
as opposed to just simply looks like me.
When I started skating, like getting into skateboarding, I looked up to Stevie Williams, and he was black. Okay. Because I did get real tired of niggas in school. I have a skateboard and you trying to be the next Tony Hawk? You know what? Fuck you. All right.
But see, so that's the opposite thing. Is now they're. As opposed to you saying like, I want to be the next Tony Hawk, and they're like, nah, you got to be this guy. They're calling you the next. To be fair, that's because no one knows any skaters.
Yeah,
they know Tony Hawk, and they know anyone that was on Jackass.
Yeah,
which is still like the greatest show ever.
Yes.
If ever go watch Jackass.
I wonder.
Jackass had a little bit too much male nudity for me.
Go watch the censored version of Jackass.
Jackass started as a safety videos, like, hey, if you do this, yeah. And then it got out of hand.
They almost died a couple times during the taking.
Yeah,
like actually legitimately.
Yeah, because they did dumb shit, man.
Well, no. You remember the one where they built that rocket that was supposed to fly into the lake? Yeah. So when they built the rocket, what's his name? Was talking about it. His name is. I can't remember his name right now.
Finish this and then we're gonna have to move on.
But
to the next thing.
what happened was when he was on the rocket and it blew up, it pipes were, because it was Jimmy rigged together. Pipes were flying out the thing, and so there was physically. He said there was literally a pipe that flew past my head, and a pipe that flew past the camera guy's head and pierced a tree. And he said I was literally 1 second away from dying. So Johnny Knoxville. That's who it was. He was like, we almost died. And he's like, after that, they were like, we deserved it. Well, they kept the taping after that.
Dumb shit. They did a bunch of dumb shit.
We went to a bar.
Yeah, there weren't too many dumb fucking things.
They did put in their music. In that music, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
I still hear that song.
Where's some of that right there? All right. So we got one more thing for some street tweets. We got Bill Maher, something about Bill Maher.
Yeah, so it all started off with a blog post originally.
Okay.
Bill Maher.
Stories do.
Yeah. Shortly after Stanley's passing, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Stanley.
Bill Maher posted on his blog.
And all that shit.
Posted on his blog saying, "Deep, deep mourning for a man who inspired millions to, I don't know, watch a movie, I guess." And then, yeah.
Fuck him.
This man had the audacity.
What that nigga look like? I'm gonna travel soon.
You don't know who Bill Maher is?
I don't know by name.
He looks like a turtle. That
nigga do like a turtle.
But so after that, he got a big backlash from it.
I fucking bet, yeah.
And then he
How are you gonna hate on somebody who already dead?
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the big thing. People are like, you did this way too soon. Like,
shouldn't did it at all.
Yeah, and then he doubled down on it. He said, "No way an attack to Mr. Lee, but
yes, it is."
Yeah.
Fuck you, Bill Maher. Fuck you, Bill Maher.
But he said he took the occasion of his death to express his dismay of people who think comic books are literature and superhero movies are great cinema, and who in general are stuck in an everlasting childhood.
What the?
This man's an old fogey. Don't pay no mind to what he said.
Life is too hard to continue to think about reality.
Yeah. And he keeps going with it. And no matter how much backlash he's getting, he just keeps going.
He's outrage.
Yeah.
Outrage marketing.
That's what he's doing. That's literally what he's doing.
And that's what a lot of people are saying too, like, stop giving him all this credit. But people are continuing to blame him on talk shows saying, hey, why would you say that? And he's like, I'm sick of people thinking that superhero movies are profound or comics are actual literature and all that. He's like, I remember back in my day. Yeah, he's like, remember back in my day, I would read comics, but just like every adult would, I would go read the books without the pictures, and how he thinks that everyone should do that now, and how people are just, we're stuck in our childhood.
Because if I watch movies about comic book heroes, then I can't also read.
Yeah,
it's one or the other.
Well, I was
red pill or blue pill.
It's like that thing from The Simpsons, like old man yells at cloud. That's all it is.
I think what he in that context, and this is me like really kind of reaching, is that people that tend to read comics and strictly comics tend to have a lower reading grade level than people that. So
that is fair.
And so
they only read comics.
And in that context, alone, that I'm saying that, and we are getting into a climate of kids who do not read as much as they used to, and their source
they don't read books as much
they don't read books as much as they used to.
I venture to say that people read more than ever because people are online.
Yeah, fair.
Constantly.
Yeah. Fair. And their reading level has dropped drastically. I remember personally, like, being in school, right, and being the only kid that read at a college level in fucking middle and high school.
You actually should have been in a better school system.
I'll agree to that. I should have been a defaulted to, but whatnot.
Yeah.
But and also let's be realistic, and that's the problem with nowadays is that people that predominantly read comics, and not a shot to those people at all, but the thing is, their reading level was on average a lot lower than people that didn't read comics as their main source of reading material.
Which I don't understand, because I was reading an older comic book series, like it was an older Captain America comic book series, and it had some pretty like decent sized words. The in panels they had
comics
like a lot of
but the thing is, reading goes beyond just like grammar and wording.
And word size.
It's how it's structured. It's how the story's structured. How the paragraph structured. It's a lot more structured to it, and it's more comprehension than actual like reading. If you can read and pronounce anything, that doesn't necessarily mean you can read. It just means that you're able. I guess the best way to say it, your reading level isn't determined on your ability to pronounce a word.
It's on the reading comprehension.
Correct.
I get that, and I will concede that having photos next to the words can make it so that you don't have to paint the picture through words, that you can actually see it. But I disagree with, and I will also concede that if all they read is comic books, that their reading level might be lower. But what Bill Maher said was that he's sick of people acting like comics are literature, implying that no comics at all ever would qualify as literature.
Oh, 100%.
And
agree with you.
that no comic book movies ever would qualify as art? Is that what he called it?
Yeah, as profound intellectual. What's the word?
And I
Bill Maher's show is not profound and intellectual.
Yeah,
so
and that's what a lot of people are saying.
Like,
how would you say that in your show itself isn't made for the highly advanced, mature people? And they're saying like there's comic lines which are super in depth and super
like we can even take not Endgame, but Infinity War for instance. Thanos like logic on cutting the population in half came from a sense of like what do they call it? The overpopulation.
Yeah.
And they're saying, but due to us overpopulating, that resources will become thin, and then we will end up killing each other off for resources. And so what he did was he cut the population in half, and therefore the people thrived and prospered due to the fact that there was now an abundance of resources compared to the amount of people that were there.
Even if you think about like other comic books, like the X-Men, they tackle social issues.
Yeah,
I agree. Like they may use code words like mutants or whatever, but they tackle like discrimination. Because
I agree with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And I agree with the fact that when
that's
you
why
said
everyone loves Stan Lee so much is that his comics did that.
He simplified social issues.
Yeah, which can be a problem if you oversimplify things, but in my experience, it doesn't seem like they really oversimplify.
No,
and then again to the point about like
I'm only talking about movies. I didn't
having reading stuff and not being in having reading comprehension divides in comic books. I almost think that comic books allow for reading comprehension like a little more because it'll have the words there that you read, and then it'll have pictures showing what's going on.
Well, what he's saying is reading, being able to piece everything together from only words. So being able to comprehend, build the scene in your head.
Exactly.
It takes some. That's what they're saying is it takes some of the work away from that. But I do see what you're saying. I think it facilitates it better because I think you read that it facilitates it better. It makes it easier to comprehend it.
Yeah.
But what's the problem with that?
And I agree.
Is it
He's just
bad
an old man complaining.
It's exactly what it is.
He is 100%.
It's just an old man bitching.
He is bitching.
In the words of Kodak, I don't really like y'all old niggas.
And
I don't like y'all old niggas' energy.
I agree with the fact that where he's coming from, in my opinion, is completely uncalled for.
Yeah.
And is a lack of the only real point, in my opinion, the only fair point that we could even like grasp straws for was the point of him saying that, anyone that predominantly reads comics and only reads comics as a form of literature is kind of not something you can grasp as your form or your true form of literature. And I'll give him that. I'll concede that, all right, man, you got one. Out of all the crazy shit you said, you got one. And you know what? And we had to literally put all the bullshit you put in that sentence away in order to give you that one.
Yeah, I don't even want to give him that one. I don't like old nigga energy.
So here, I see what you're saying there, but I would be honest. My least favorite class in all of grade school and everything was English. I just hated that fucking class. No, so here's why. It's because everything you learn in English is complete bullshit.
Yes,
and every paper that you write is complete bullshit, and every little quote unquote literary device is complete bullshit. Yes. It's all bullshit.
You know what helps you read better? Math. Did you know that?
Really?
Because math involves more critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
So when you if you're able to do math relatively well, when you go and decipher and you go read paragraphs and so on, your brain is able to use the critical thinking skills you use to process math problems into and apply it to reading, and allow you to decipher situations and apply and put things together, piece together easily. Yeah. So English actually does fucking nothing for you. English actually doesn't even help you with English.
That makes sense too, because I was always in the advanced math class, and my reading level was always when I was I actually got tested for ADD when I was in I think it was 2nd or 3rd grade. And they said I was reading at a 10th to 11th grade level.
Yeah.
In 2nd and 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So I could do math and I could read and everything. It was just all the extra shit. I didn't feel like lying on a paper. I didn't want to write a paper that I just lied for 3 or 4 pages.
I guess I'm an exception for that because I've always been really good at vocabulary and reading and comprehension like that, but I've been shit at math.
Really?
My entire life.
Well, I have a theory that most people that are quote unquote shit at math are actually they had shitty math teachers.
Yeah.
More than likely.
I definitely agree with that because I think math is one of those things, and this is how I like math so much. It's one of those things that the problem with math and what keeps happening is math evolves. People keep finding easier ways of solving problems.
Math is math,
and so yeah, like The Incredibles. Math is math. Why would they change math? But
he's got a point though.
Yeah, but and that's really what it was. It's we learned to do things one way, right? We came to the same answer, and they're learning to do things another way, which they're coming to the same answer. But what they're doing, in my opinion, is also crippling them. Is they're also oversimplifying math to an extent.
Well, not with Common Core. Because I tutor now, and so I've been tutoring this.
I seen that, and it looked so ridiculous.
It is a nightmare. Some of it's pretty mundane, but some of it'll be solve this equation or whatever, and then it'll say show your work. So you go through all the steps, solving all the equations and showing your work, and then it'll say right after that, write a number sentence explaining how you got the answer or something like that. So you have to write everything out, all the steps and everything, and then you got to write a sentence for every step that you just did, and write exactly. I added 7 to both sides.
Well,
I divided by 2.
I am so glad that I've graduated already.
Everyone just give yourself a pat on the back for not getting held back long enough.
I'm so glad that I've graduated already because I didn't like to show my work before. I would just...
Now you got to do it twice.
I just do it in my head and then I'd write it down as much as I could.
Yeah.
As far as I can get in my head, and then I'll write.
The secret sauce to my success in math was that my parent was Asian.
And kids, all you got to do is just get an Asian parent.
And they would force me to take tutors, and that is how we also did math. So I was exposed to that relatively early. I was doing that,
writing
the sentences out. I was doing that. And so this was the funny thing. When I was in geometry, because look, I also was in trigonometry my freshman year of high school.
Oh no, with proofs, I know with proof, but that's different.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if they got something that says 2x equals 4, and they gotta divide both sides by 2.
So
then they
you have to divide both. Yeah,
and then they gotta write.
So you want to know how I show my work in math? They were show your work. I'll put an arrow next to the answer. That's it.
Circle the answer.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where you would actually do the proof, and then below it you'd have to write basically a short fucking essay on how you have come to this conclusion.
Am I in English too? Math and English?
Yeah, I do a book report in my math class one time. We'll talk about that some other day. I was irate.
Going back to Bill,
I wouldn't have done that. Like I blatantly just didn't do schoolwork because like my teacher used to ask why I used to pass my tests and I never did any of the book work and all that other stuff. I told her because I hate doing tedious tasks.
Fair.
They are tedious. I think the problem with math is that it's not taught as logic. Because that's all it is it's just logic.
Fair.
But you're taught it as numbers. And that's just such a tiny little portion.
But back to Bill Maher.
That'd be like Jojo's little stoop on the island of math.
There was another argument against it of Bill saying all these things about comic books, and they were talking about the technological and military advancements due to inspiration from comic books.
Okay.
So like, there's a whole project right now of creating a safer soldier, like armor and all that. They're called the Iron Man project.
Okay. All right.
So exactly.
Yeah.
And
really.
Even as they make one, Disney gonna step up.
Hey, it's literally they're making an Iron Man suit, and it's gonna have an exoskeleton that increases his strength, durability, and stamina. And they're having an exoskeleton of it.
Stamina.
Yeah, because the robot, the actual skeleton, can actually take over for the person.
That sounds dangerous.
So
it sounds like that guy that got twisted in half.
Yeah,
First one. Yeah.
and then they're gonna make the
Yeah, he was like, all right, turn it. Just...
I remember that. That's when he said that. I was like,
I
I remember that. That man looked like he heard it.
Yeah, and they're saying
he's at least not walking.
And the lead I guess
last name walking, first name never.
It would be the lead scientist.
The lead scientist said that he got distinctive inspiration from Iron Man as a kid growing up.
You hear that? Fuck you, Bill Maher.
And it's besides that,
lose.
like,
good day, sir. Nothing.
Besides that, just building stronger metals, I would say, is attributed somewhat to Captain America and vibranium and all that.
Yeah.
Stronger, lighter weight metals.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of just a sci-fi in general thing. But
yeah, because Star Trek did so much.
Tend to be fairly sci-fi.
Yeah.
Let people dream.
Exactly.
If you want to be an old nigga, just be an old nigga.
He's also just mad that people are getting entertainment out of it. Like, I understand if you try to act like, try to act like the Iron Man movie is the next Citizen fucking Kane. Like, okay, it's not, but it's still a good movie. Yeah. And they're entertaining. So.
And I think
Marvel out of
a lot of times people look at stuff that other people enjoy and they're like, oh, they think this is high art. It's like, no, I just find it fucking entertaining.
But you know the thing about I think about Marvel movies is they are.
Why can't Marvel movies?
They are artists. They are.
They
art.
can.
They are. In my opinion, like some of the greatest. Like, because one of the things that, and then this is because I've been taking more of a. I guess I'm kind of because of the fact I see when I started watching anime. I started seeing animations and started actually looking into animations, learning how to animate and so on and so forth. Because I wanted to create my own anime at one point in time. But like looking into animation, seeing how things are structured and seeing stuff like that, I can take a deeper appreciation for like Marvel movies. Because there's a lot of things, a lot of complex things that are going into that. Like, there was one scene in the Iron Man 3 movie when he's on that the construction,
the oil rig,
and he's fighting all the other
suits.
Whatever. Yeah, when he's fighting all the other suits, you can
There's
see
like a bridge or something. I think
it was one of those containment things movers.
Yeah, it was
shipping yards.
Yeah, shipyard.
A crane or
yeah. When he was fighting all those things, a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of that scene was CGI for one. Which a lot of people should know off the rip. But even...
We don't have swarms of flying death robots.
How dare you, sir?
But even like
I was lied to.
Even like how the movements were done were so artistically like ingenious that they seemed so fathomable. Like you could almost feel like they had little people hooked to like actual string. and running in and doing these movements were so lifelike and things like that. Like that is true art in my opinion. Being able CGI, in my opinion, is one of the truest forms of art that's come out when it comes to digital because of the fact you are tricking the human eye to process something as true.
Right.
And it's really not. I'm not gonna say it's hard to do if you know what you're looking for, and like see that scene in my opinion was done like phenomenally well for what it was. And so like for him to say things like that, being someone that has probably seen a dog take a dump, you know, on a movie and not realize that sometimes dogs don't take dump on command. He was fooled to think that was an actual dog taking a dump. That was art, you fuckhead. Yeah. That was actual art. But nonetheless, I digress with that whole thing. But I think Marvel movies are done artistically really well.
Well, Marvel was also like the first ones to really make the superhero movie stick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like there was the first Spider-Man movies, but by the third one, everyone was like, "Oh, this is garbage" or whatever. Yeah. And then if you look prior to that,
black suit.
Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man. I don't care what it
I didn't say I thought it was garbage. I'm just saying that everyone else thought they were garbage.
I agree with that.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, he was the best Peter Parker. My apologies.
I'll agree with that.
But they were the first ones to really make it stick because, like, prior to that, you have like the old Superman movies. Oh my god! Oh my god! Those do not hold up. Those do not hold
curly
up.
cute cowlick just.
I don't know. Clay,
you can't convince me those hold up. Even the old '90s Batman movies.
Marvel movies did fail a little bit. You know the old Spider-Man ones.
No, I'm saying like the current generation of everything.
Oh, Thor and Hulk.
I'm saying those were horrible. But I'm saying with the current generation. So Bill Maher's talking about like the old Hulk TV show. Like, okay, that's not high art necessarily, but actually even that had some pretty deep shit.
The CGI.
And you know, we can also see how CGI is like has transformed throughout.
Yeah.
And like I go back to saying what I said before.
Just look at the Green Lantern movie.
If you were born in the 90s, right, you are hands down the pioneers of technology. If you were born in the 90s, you're the pioneers of technology. You get to see everything like transform. We saw the fucking VHS become absolutely obsolete. We saw it come into play and become obsolete within like 10 years.
We've seen far more than that.
I still use my VHS.
Yeah, we can even say like the age of computers. Age of computers.
Ask Jeeves, no.
2 ways page.
Oh, I forgot about Ask Jeeves.
You had your own internet butler, man.
Yeah, fucking cell phones.
AOL.
Yeah, flip phones.
Especially.
Jojo.
That went crazy.
Well, they shouldn't.
It's because of construction workers. They still make flip phones.
They should just make stronger smartphones.
They're going to make it more expensive, then Apple's going to take it over. And then
Apple wouldn't take it over because Apple would suck at it.
They would, yeah. Their phones do not hold up.
Congratulations, Apple.
We're getting off topic.
Sell the same shit to everybody for the same price.
But like with the graphic art, look at
I'm
Thanos.
I'm gonna sell you a new phone.
War.
Yeah, Thanos was done really
your
well.
Your new phone does the same shit as your old phone.
And it takes a lot.
Same exact
it takes
shit.
a lot to do that.
It does.
We promised the insides of it.
Because you also got to saw how like
you're not allowed to open.
They gave that man like 2 whole foot. They gave that nigga 2 whole foot. That man's not that tall, and they made him look 2 whole foot taller and like natural 2 foot tall.
Dude. He was convincing. Thanos was convincing looking.
Yeah. Even with the sunlight behind him, you could just see like the tiny hairs, the peach fuzz.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
I have one more thing to add before we go to the break. People talk so much that like whenever it's convenient, they're gonna like suck high art's dick. Like, oh, high art this, high art that. I've seen high art. Okay, I've been in a museum. No. It's not like it was that. What? Shut up, Tom. High art. Anyways, I've been in a museum where someone had unironically put up a completely blank canvas.
Yeah,
there was nothing on it. They bought a canvas and then sold it to a museum for like hundreds of dollars. And that was considered high art.
Saw one that someone spilled paint on.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, this will worth millions.
But even that one, at least he went through the effort to spill paint. At least he went through the effort to spill paint on it.
I'm used to trying to sell people bullshit. Now I can actually sell bullshit to a shitload of people.
You can.
And it sticks. People love it.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go up there and I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna paint a picture of a butthole.
It's just too late. No, the feminist story beats you to that. There's some video where this girl walks up with a canvas, and then there's a canvas and a pot, and in front of everyone she just drops trowel, squats down and shits in the pot, and then starts drawing on the canvas with the shit.
Huh?
Yeah, that was high feminist art time.
Clay, I wasn't gonna put my butthole on there.
I'm saying they beat you to it. You can't top that now.
I can't.
You gonna draw with your own shit? No.
Are you sure it was high art and not some weird fetish?
Get one of your dogs.
I'm sure it was all.
Oh, you know what we can do?
There wasn't nobody out there jerking off, was it, Clay?
No.
There wasn't
Look, this is
Back in the museum.
Everybody, hand check, hands out your pockets.
This is what we need to do. We need to find someone we hate, invite them to a museum, and put a blank canvas on the wall and shoot them in front of the canvas. All right, and we can pass it as high art.
Can it be Bill Maher?
Hey, we can invite him. Tell him he's winning a prize.
You're gonna be in art forever.
You shoot him like, this is America.
And at the bottom, we need to have Charles Gambino at the bottom. Don't catch you slipping up.
All right. We're gonna cut to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have a quick customer service story from Tyme. My favorite of all of his customer service stories. And then we're gonna go into the new segment. We'll talk about the Mueller report and Jussie Smollett. So stay tuned, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the Unfiltered Podcast, do us a favor by liking the video and click that subscribe button for more content without the filter. If you'd like to be a guest on one of our shows, send an email to wetheunfiltered@gmail.com with the subject line guest, and include your name, some basic information about yourself, your background, and one or more things that people find interesting about you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Unfiltered Podcast.
Hello.
Wake up.
Hi. We back.
And black. Well, kind of.
I can't. Yeah, because some of us is black.
We're 3/5. We've reached the 3/5 compromise.
We got the minorities here with us.
Yeah, man, I'm the minority on the podcast. Fuck y'all. Whatever I say goes. You can't question me or else you're racist.
Fair enough.
Nah, we can negate that. Black people can't be racist.
Yeah.
Well, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. All right, so we're going to start things off light before we get into. There's some dog shit we're going to have to talk about this week. But we're going to start off with my favorite customer service story of all time. And Tyme's going to take that away. Go for it, man.
All right. So I used to work at this place where I was operating rides for children. And if you know anything about me, you know that I hate kids.
Sounds like the start to an R. Kelly show.
Yeah. That or a Cardi.
So, no R. Kelly stuff. It was just a bunch of badass little kids. And, like, it was connected to a movie theater. So people would just leave their little kids with like a wristband, and like the wristband you could get on all the rides and stuff like that. So they had bumper cars like Ferris wheel, carousel, all that, and they also had a playpen. And this is where a lot of the children's parents love to leave their kids. They love to leave their kids in the playpen, and sometimes the kids that don't have wristbands and stuff like that. Because it costs them money every time. Not money, but like they have credits on their on like little cards that they can scan to get inside the little play area. Right. And if they left, they had to scan it again. So parents would leave their kids in there and go to the movie theater. Mm-hmm. And this one kid, he didn't have enough credits to scan and to leave and go to the bathroom and come back and go into the playpen. So that's why. Yeah. I never knew why this happened. So okay. So now that I explained that a little bit, this little kid, every once in a while we'll have incidents where kids would go to the bathroom inside the little play, and like the playpen would have slides, and all the things and stuff that you could climb on and stuff like that for kids. So basically, this little nigga had shit in the slide.
And just shit. You said he got to the bottom of the slide, right?
Yeah, he shit inside of the slide where nobody could see him because it was one of the covered slides.
I thought he shit right at the bottom.
Nah.
So he actually so he went partway down.
Yeah, and shit inside.
Like he stopped and shit and then pulled his pants back.
Could you imagine being like a little kid that ran up to that slide and slid in raw shit?
Well, now that is actually what happened.
Oh,
later on, it was like because a lot of parents would have birthday parties and stuff for their children and stuff. And this one little girl, she had on a real nice dress. It was her birthday. She slid down. Oh my God. She slid down the slide into the shit. She slid all in the shit.
I can picture that kid in the background maniacally laughing.
It was we'll come back to the maniacal laugh later.
Am I a psycho?
So what happened? It was a big thing. The little girl's mom was outraged. Little girl crying, everything. We had to find where her mom was. She wasn't one of the parents that left her, but she wasn't paying attention to the kid either.
Yeah. I wouldn't
parents
expect
the children.
My kid to slide in inside and come back. I looked away for 2 minutes.
So after she took her to the bathroom and kind of like,
being the parent, I would have been instinctively mad at my child. What the fuck you do?
He just came walks and covers you. You shit.
You after she kind of, there was a big ruckus. So I left my spot where I was sitting, and I was trying to go and find out what happened. So I went over there, and the lady stormed off. She cleaned she went to the bathroom with the kid. I'm assuming she cleaned her off, and then she went over and
shit on her again. Welcome to life.
And then she had her wrapped up on what looks to be like another shirt or something like.
Yeah.
I think they gave her they gave her a shirt for the place that I used to work.
Oh, okay.
And
good catch.
And they went. She went to the managers or whatever, and she was talking. She was irate, and then she walked
rightfully
around.
So.
I was standing right by the rock climbing thing, and then it was just a bunch of us coworkers standing there looking at her, and she walked by. She stormed off looking at us. And I pointed and laughed at her. That's the most malicious. She was hot. She was walking, and then after she walked off, and she was obviously not happy with what happened. And I didn't
rightfully
care. So. I didn't care. I laughed at her.
I don't know.
And then next
you pointed at her.
I thought I was gonna get fired. I didn't. 725 isn't enough to not make me laugh. That was one of my that's my first job. So it was like 725. I'ma laugh at you still. I'm still in college. I'll find another job. But like after that, not maintenance crew, but the janitors came in, and they were mad too. They were walking around, and then I started laughing at them too because they had to clean the shit.
I could imagine it being like a 3-man job. One person.
It was 2 of them.
Oh, so the one's at the top of the slide holding the other one by the legs.
All while some jackass that work with them is just laughing his head off.
I take offense to this because I used to be a janitor, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw that, I would have been like, how much you paying me again? So
they got paid what I got paid, and I told you I wouldn't clean that shit for nothing.
I probably would have did it, but I would be like, all right, y'all, I'm gonna put this water, like I'm gonna spray water all down this slide. I'm not touching this, and all the shit.
Yeah, just keep dumping buckets of soap down there. I'm not going down
all
that
this
slide.
shit that goes down to the balls, y'all, that's y'all problem. Throw it away, y'all can buy
Just
some
wash
others.
it away to another place.
That's awful.
That's horrible.
And it was so
I just
funny
burned
because
the
they were
slide
walking.
Just
The whole slide.
Replace it, you gotta replace it, guys. I'm not
No
gonna
more
touch it.
slide guns.
They had like this little metal pail with soap water. And I was just laughing.
You got these two grown ass men.
No, it wasn't girl. They were
Did they have
girl.
a
They were
mop
around
or a
our
sponge?
age. Actually, I guess they were
You could
like
consider them-
16, 17.
Oh.
Did they have a mop or a sponge?
A mop or a sponge. They had a
Or like a rag?
they had a scrub brush, a rag, and
I remember
they had gloves.
Not only that, you guys
Just get down in there and just wipe
It's like in the
shit
middle,
up.
and one of them was a girl because I'm pretty sure she was the one that had to get in there because
She was small enough.
The kid shit like towards the middle of the slide, and let me tell because
You got to go down the slide.
the little
to get to it,
girl,
not too far.
the little girl slid in it, so it was smeared. in there.
yeah.
So it was
gonna
just
say,
she would've
smeared
looked at
shit
me.
that they had to clean up.
She would look at me. I'll look back at her. Ladies first.
I would have just. I'd be like,
I
nah,
was-
just send the little girl down a couple more times, make her wipe up the rest of it. she's already been
Just
sacrificed.
cover her in water and soap.
Send the girl down the slide.
They had to tell me to go to a different area because I was in tears, crying, laughing at these niggas because they had to clean shit up, and the other one had what's it called.
That's our second shit story.
Look, man, life is hard.
Life is hard. For that little girl.
Story's so retarded.
Could you imagine her seeing it coming too? Just
Oh my god.
in this slide, just
You also gotta realize, I remember going to that place, like, and that slide was next to like the glass windows. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that hoe would be hot boxed. Going down.
No, it's not near the glass windows. It's like an open. There's nets like in front of it. But right in front of that is the golf course. It's like right in front of the golf course, kind of.
That's still wild.
What's no? It's near the windows, right?
The mini golf. No, not that. The places, you know,
Well, the
like
place
those
in
little,
general was a
you
big
know-
glass house.
You
Yeah,
know
that's what I mean,
the platforms.
Yeah.
Where you
so they had to climb up the platforms with the bucket and pail of water.
Nah, I think they because there's service areas where you could zip the it's
unzip
high
the thing.
it's
Okay.
high enough for kids can't reach the zipper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I have another funny story about that
Really?
too.
Really?
I remember the service area.
Uh-huh.
We it's like it was like really high up. So like I could reach it and unzip it, and kids couldn't. But like it got real dusty back there, and they wanted us to clean it, and we were real slow one day. So we were, so we went, so me and a girl, we went back there and we cleaned the, we were cleaning the service area, and this girl, she was pregnant. And we were both like cleaning.
Your coworker, what you said?
Yeah, she was pregnant. And we were back there cleaning. No, it wasn't mine. So
Was she exposed to asbestos? That's as best as it gets, man.
So we were back there cleaning, and then like one thing, like I don't really make a lot of noise when I walk. And I'm sometimes, and like for those that don't know me, usually at work I am kind of quiet. I'm not really that loud. So I snuck off from the service area and zipped her in the thing. She was too short to reach it. So So by the time she realized that she was locked in there, I was already like long gone. Like I was already like across the. I was hiding in the bathroom. That's what I was doing. Oh, okay. So like. What she had to do, she had to take her cell phone out and call the manager. She had to call the front desk to come and unzip her out of the thing. Tom, you would have And then when the manager was like, "Hey, are you still at work? Did you like have the?" Because she was pregnant, she thought that something might have happened where she had to leave because of the baby or something like that. And
what if she went into labor in there?
That's what I was gonna say.
So the manager
just stand there from the outside. Hang on, ma'am.
The manager comes and unzips her, and then like basically, I walk out of the bathroom after a while, and then next thing I know, I see this pregnant lady waddling towards me with a broom, trying to swat at me.
I looked at her. I'll kick it.
You so right.
But yeah, we used to play as much as the kids did whenever it was like, all right, there was one time one of my coworkers was just talking shit to me, and I got tired of her talking shit. So I grabbed her and put her at the top of the Ferris wheel and walked away.
He puts lotion on his skin.
Just an angry woman out there. Tom, you put that right? Well, there's one more story though. What was it was someone in the bathroom when they.
Oh yeah. There was this weird nigga that used to come up there. He always used to
So this wasn't a random person? It was someone that came up.
Yeah, he always used to come to the same. He always used to. I suspect it was him. I don't know if it was actually him or not. Okay. I couldn't prove it. That's why he That's why he was never banned. Oh, but he used to always come up there to the arcade. He used to come up there and stare at people, and then go up to the arcade and play the same game all the time.
Maybe he was looking for new challengers.
So I think he might have been playing Dance Dance Revolution or something. Either that or Street Fighters. I think one of the two. He was either the guy that played Dance Dance Revolution or all the time or Street Fighters. It's been a long time and I drink a lot, so I don't really remember.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, this man used to go in there. He used to just be nasty. That nigga used to come in the bathroom and shave and do all that. Like I see him shave before. That's why I think it was him. But like after he came out of the bathroom, like every once in a while, like the people who operated the rides would have to check off the bathroom. You may sweep up, pick up a piece of paper or something like that. But that's until the maintenance people came in because, you know, usually whenever our shift worked, the kids were in school, so we didn't really have shit to do. Sometimes they made us clean. I was usually hungover because I used to drink a lot in that period of time. But they somebody I was the one that went in and checked off the male's bathroom. I walked into a stall because I seen like paper on the floor, and I was appalled by what I seen. Somebody had picked up some shit with a paper towel and started writing on the walls. It wasn't even like a cohesive. It didn't look like letters. It looked like more of symbols. And they were just writing with shit on the wall.
Maybe he was trying to summon Mr. Hank.
Or send you a message.
Yeah.
And the paper towel, like part of the paper towel was stuck to the wall with the shit, and like it was just bad. So I looked at that, and obviously I'm not cleaning that shit. They paid me $7.25. Like they paid me $7.25. I would never do that. Like now that I think about it, I probably wouldn't have did half the shit I did there for $7.25. I won't show up to work on time for what they pay me now. And it's like, how the hell I'm come work for $7.25. Not dissing you if you work for $7.25, but whatever. I start walking to my manager and I start untucking my shirt because I know that I'm not cleaning this up, and I'm expecting to go be sent home or get fired. I was untucking my shirt to give it to him because I walked up to my manager. I was like, "Hey, there's feces on the wall," and then he looked at me. He looked at me with the most concerned look the most concerned look I've ever seen on a human being's face. And he was, "You mean shit?"
The shit on the wall reminds me of like whenever I was in middle school.
No, sir, I don't mean shit.
Like, the look on his face was wild. You mean shit? And that man's eyes were so big that it was
shocked.
He didn't believe me. He walked to the bathroom and then came back. I was still standing at the thing just in case he tried to tell me that I was going to go home. He looked at me. He was just like, "Go back to your ride. Don't worry about it."
He knew the right thing to say.
Definitely. I was never cleaning up.
That could have been me standing there. I would have took off all my stuff, untucked my shirt, put it right where I was standing. If that nigga would have came back, But yeah, man, when I was in middle school, like, I heard a nigga like wrote East Side and shit on the bathroom. I was like, y'all East Side niggas are dirty.
All right. So we'll probably have more customer service stories on another day.
I got more of them.
Oh yeah.
I didn't work in customer service. I worked in the fields.
Shut up, dude. So we're gonna move on to the news segment, and so first up, we got the final Mueller report, the news on that, and the verdict is no collusion with Russia. So none whatsoever. We spent $25 million over 2 years, conducted over 500 interviews, put out 2,800 subpoenas, or over that. And they got like a couple of indictments for obstruction of justice.
At best.
Yeah, and then there was like one or two financial things, and that's it. And the obstruction of justice things, oh no, how dare you obstruct the obvious witch trial from carrying on? How very dare
fucking
you?
Really.
You know? Yeah, that's all it was a fucking witch hunt.
Time and money.
Yeah, it was
Dare
a witch
you waste
hunt.
the time of wasting time.
Yeah. Exactly. How dare you try to prevent us from wasting time? What a crime. The highest of all crimes.
How dare you, sir? You will let me do this bullshittery as long as I please.
Your kung fu treachery.
But the thing that's crazy about it is that, like, Rachel Maddow was, like, almost crying on her show. Sad. Because she's, like... And her ratings took a huge hit, by the way. Like, her ratings are in the toilet right now. But she was, like, almost crying. And it's like, you are sad over the fact that our president isn't a traitor.
Yeah.
How are you going to be sad that the president isn't a traitor? Whether you like Trump or not, why would you be happy if he had been a traitor?
Yeah.
Why would that make you happy at all?
Because people just want... Like,
it's not going to undo the election.
They just want to villainize him as much as possible. And it's in my opinion, it's their form of generating an early smear campaign to keep him from being reelected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's literally what it is.
Yeah, it is. Well, they were trying to carry it up through 2020, but it didn't work.
I just wish they would just look, Trump is doing enough as is to kind of shoot himself in the foot to an extent.
Yeah, exactly.
So just let him fucking fuck it up himself. The more you guys do this and the more that things happen and just don't act in your favor, the more likely he's going to get reelected.
Exactly.
And all they're doing is adding fuel to the fact that, oh, hey, look, you guys were fucking lying the whole time. Why should I believe anything you fucking said?
Yeah, exactly. You've just discredited yourself and your entire party.
Yeah.
So no one's going to listen to you.
Just let him
when
fuck it
2020
up.
rolls around, no one's going to listen to you.
Y'all need to leave Mr. President, good Mr. President Donald Trump.
That whole interview.
Very cool. Thanks, Jojo.
Clay, you gotta see that interview. That
Charlemagne the God and Uncle Ruckus.
I have seen that. I have seen that from that show that Soulja Boy went on, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that. But so they had CNN even was talking about it. They had an open-ended poll where they asked people. It was open-ended. You could put in whatever you want. Like, you could answer whatever you want. And they said, what's your most important issue for 2020? 20% said immigration, 16% said the economy, 11% said candidate attributes, and then there's more. There's like healthcare, issue positions and ideology, candidate specific, civil, human rights, government spending,
reasonable stuff.
Other, and then the Russian investigation. 0.0% of people said that was their most important issue for 2020.
Shouldn't prostitution be in there?
0.0. It might be under other.
There was other.
It might be under other. It's 34% other.
Yeah.
Other.
Prostitution.
So prostitution.
I'm voting for whoever is trying to give me better health care, man, because it's expensive.
And prostitutes.
I don't want them. I just want it to happen.
I want the option.
You want the option.
of prostitutes. It's like, if I want to go buy this, I don't want to get arrested for it.
Yeah, even though I'm not going to go buy it.
I don't believe in giving hoes money.
Unless you fucking or family.
Nah, if you're family or if I'm fucking them, they're not going to be hoes.
Fair.
Yep.
You have turned them to ladies.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, so someone else made a really good point too. I was looking into this, and someone said, imagine if we had spent that much time and money and effort investigating the Clinton Foundation, because just like anything they have to do with Saudi Arabia,
We don't need to investigate them. There was whole WikiLeaks about everything they fucking did.
That was for Hillary herself, but this is for the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, the foundation as a whole?
They actually openly take money from foreign governments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're continuing to do so, as to my knowledge, at least during the election. That might not be 100% correct, but they've done it. Like, you've done it for years leading up to it. Oh, you stopped doing it for 4 months. Wow, great.
Congratulations.
Yeah, good job. What a
You
beacon of morality you are.
You decided not to be a whole jackass for like 4 months of your whole career.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just disgusting. But there are people still defending it. They're still saying stuff like, "Oh, well, we don't know what's in the report because it was the Attorney General's summary of it."
I can't fucking stand people. Man.
Okay, what is Mueller locked up in a fucking underground cellar somewhere that he didn't just come out and say, "Hey, that's not what I said in my report." Why would he not just come out and say that if that's not what's in the fucking report? They're still grasping at straws. And they're still trying to say, oh, well, there's no news about whether or not there's going to be more charges on obstruction of justice. It's like...
I also think... go ahead.
And if they're if their main goal is to just, smear Trump to get him out, to make him not be reelectable, they don't really have to do anything. Now, all they're doing is making points. They're making points. Hey, he does this. Then they're going to prove that they're trying to prove that he does this, but they're proving otherwise.
Exactly.
So it's so we're just clearing his name until we're just continually clearing his name until it gets to the situation to where why won't we reelect him because he hasn't done anything?
One thing I really don't like in the election process of this is that people are scrutinizing Trump. Well, rightfully so. You should scrutinize anyone that's going to be the president, right?
Yeah.
But and they're holding him to a really high standard. Rightfully so. Again,
he's the president.
But
you do have the nuclear codes.
Exactly. But
the world's strongest military.
No one is holding people who are running for this office at that same standard. Like you said, if, for instance, the Clinton campaign, the whole Clinton Foundation, that whole foundation is corrupt, back and forth. If we could, compare them to any villain in any form of, there's a book. There's a book that depicts them.
League of Villainy, which, by the way, the straw poll has been in all the episodes recently, so just go vote
Will is winning.
Will is winning. You have 3 votes.
I don't think that's fair.
Yeah, you don't need to go vote. Go vote for Will.
votes.
But anyway, yeah, I voted for Will.
Oh.
You guys are
I have not voted for you.
Go vote. Go
R.
vote.
Kelly's low on the list.
Go vote.
Well, that is bad.
R. Kelly
is
and
low.
Ingrid Newkirk. She stole a dog from a blind person.
Yes.
And the Nexium guy is on there. You're beating the Nexium guy right now.
That's not fair. That
one might not be
I feel
fair.
this is biased.
I bet it was Shin. He was the other person that voted for Will. It was Shin.
Payback.
You dislike my videos? I'm
gonna show you a
League of Villainy.
But like,
we can't put Hillary in there because she'd automatically win.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but you know the whole
Will's in the running for that.
I know a really good book I read. Right, I've read this book twice, and they depict this. They picked the Hindenburg Foundation, the Clinton Foundation.
I thought you were gonna say the Hindenburg.
I know. The Hindenburg. They depict
their foundation did go down like the Hindenburg. I think they closed that bitch, didn't they?
Yeah, they depict the Clinton Foundation perfectly, and the book is actually the #1 bestseller.
Really?
It's the Bible. The Clinton Foundation is the devil by definition. They are the devil. If I was a true believer, I believe that's where Satan lived. I strongly believe that's where he dwells, because that is a hope. Like
he's barely in the book. To be fair.
Yeah.
And he, as far as I know, he ain't come out with his own book yet.
Fair.
It's just a smear campaign.
He don't got a diss track back.
Yeah, it's just a smear campaign, man.
And you know, I just hate them. I hate them so bad. And people are just defending these people. Like, I cannot stand anyone that, if I hear another fucker come up and tell me, well, Trump's rape people. Who's he rape?
Name one person.
Well, he said he grabbed people by the pussy. One, he never said grab. He said that
he said they let you.
Yeah. And then two, if you want a rapist in the White House, you should have just reelected Bill.
Leave Bill alone.
Yeah, leave Bill alone. Bill ain't did nothing to nobody.
Reelect Bill.
He already looks like a simple breeze.
This is another thing. If you're a man and you ain't grabbed no pussy, you need to reevaluate your life. Or you may not like pussy.
I was going to say, maybe you're gay.
Yeah, that's also.
There is a thing called fair pussy.
Now, hey.
Can we please bleep that out? That word is not okay.
Yeah, that word is offensive to me.
Nah. We have pussy in there. We're keeping. I'm not gonna.
It's okay.
Makes it feel dirty.
I'm not being recorded saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, you know, fuck her. Fuck Fuck their foundation. And I hope they all go back where they belong.
Yeah, the FBI didn't even fucking investigate.
I wish God law poverty.
She was single-handedly responsible for Benghazi. That doesn't fucking make sense to me.
Maybe she hadn't kept a fucking email server in her fucking bathroom, which is literally what was happening.
You know,
she had a
Clay,
private email server in her fucking bathroom.
Just fuck.
How big is your bathroom that you can fit a fucking email server in there?
Think about it, Clay. She's got to do all her diabolical thinking on the toilet.
That was her laboratory.
She's just sitting there, just shitting, yeah, it's good.
I have to go.
She would have the Mandar laboratory.
I hate her. I hate her so bad.
Oh,
I hope she never wins.
I wish God law poverty on her family.
Pull the lever. Bill, pull the lever.
No, she said crazy. She I forget what dictator they were talking about. Fuck, was it? Whatever. I can't remember his name. But she was in a speech. She was like, "We came, we saw, we killed him." Like just bragging about.
Congrats.
Yeah. Okay, congratulations. You killed the dictator that you propped up in the first place. Good job.
Congrats. And it reminds me of this.
What a miracle.
She's taking care of problems.
That she introduced.
That she created. It's like PETA. Yeah. Steal a dog and now... Oh, damn.
Oh, no, it's homeless. Bow.
I hate this. I really hope she never wins anything again. I don't even think she deserves a participation award.
She should be in jail.
100%.
She should be... Which... again, I'm not the biggest Trump fan, but that part in the debate where she was like, "It's a good thing you'll never be president," he just because you'll be in jail. I'm sorry, that was too smooth.
I wish he had kept up on his deal.
I do too.
On putting her in jail.
I was waiting for him to come out like the night that he won, just like. The investigation starts now.
I was expecting the reason she didn't come out and give that speech was because they were locking her up.
That would have been amazing. It's literally like as soon as the news networks call the election, just like armed guards burst into her little hotel room.
Nah, I just wanted Trump to come out.
We got him,
guys. We got him.
Presidents.
We got him. He walks out on like you're at Trump headquarters or whatever. You're like, where's Trump? And then it cuts to like an aircraft carrier with George Bush's mission accomplished.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I really need
just big fat fucking cigars.
If he feels like he's gonna lose, I need his last presidential order to be get her arrested. I want to at least see her in
executive
cuffs.
order.
I'll feel better knowing that they cuffed that bitch.
I will too.
Just
arrest her.
Hillary's just an evil villain. She's been having Bill captive for years.
Have you seen that man? He looks dead.
Yeah, they clearly have to like crank him back up or something like he's got a little wind up thing on his back.
Yeah, she gives him drugs. I'm pretty sure she drugs him up.
Hey, he looks like he's constantly roofied. Just
they have to
like he's having a stroke at all times.
Cocaine and Viagra, that's what it is.
They have to drug Bill up because he be
Jojo,
on the prowl for that pussy, boy.
They still kill me what Tyme says. Like, Bill, quit fucking the white bitch. We gotta go. Quit fucking the young bitch. We gotta go. But look, man,
they gotta keep him on the leash. They can't. They drug him up so he don't be out there getting head at desk.
I need him to go.
I know she's wrinkled down there. All Bill gotta do is take some starch, just rub it out.
Get some wrinkle releaser
and an ironing board. I found
out on top of the ironing board.
That should be her. If she gets arrested, that should be her torture. They torture the information out of her. Just drop an iron down there.
No, man, she gets the goat torture. She gets the goat torture.
The goat torture?
Yeah, you know what it is?
I don't know if I want to know.
It's when you're suspended, just suspended in the air.
Okay.
And you put salt on the people's feet, and the goat will just lick.
Okay.
Lick.
Oh, because they'll lick the skin over there. Their tongues are really rough. And so they'll keep licking until the skin gets. They lick your skin off. Like
they'll lick you dead.
Yeah, you'll actually die because eventually you'll start bleeding. And
Oh
that's the real torture. When Jojo said goat torture, I was first. Is he talking about the iron horse? They sit a person on top of this triangle.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I learned that from anime, fairy tale.
Yeah, but when he said the goat torture, I was like, oh, I know that one too. Look, man, I'm sorry, guys, but I have always been enthused about the mental breakdown of the human mind, and so I have looked up all kinds of numerous different types of torture. And that was honestly one of my favorite ones.
What?
The goat torture. Just because how just
ignorant it is.
Yeah. Cost effective too.
Yeah.
You just need a goat, some salt, and rope. And it's not like you're buying something completely conspicuous. Like, this nigga bought a rope and a goat. All right.
Get him!
Like no one's going to come knocking on your door. Who you got in here? I just tried to tie my goat up, man. He likes salt. I seasoned my food.
And a rope. And this man bought a goat and rope. I know y'all doing something freaky in there.
This is America. Mind your business.
Have you heard of Chinese water torture?
Well, where they have a slow, steady drip of water.
Slow, steady drip of water just on the forehead over and over again.
Yeah.
I heard about that one. That one was pretty cool.
That one just sounds like really a mild annoyance at first.
Another one I really thought was really crazy was the one where they would take starving rats
straight torch
and put it in a bucket. Yeah, they put it in a bucket and put it on your stomach.
Yeah.
And the rats couldn't get out the bucket because it was metal.
Yeah, they would light the other end, but heat source to it.
And that's some they got the stomach.
All right, we're not talking about this anymore.
Yeah, that was a very much a stray from what we were talking about.
I was like, how did we get
Things
here?
to do to Hillary.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about. All right.
Don't do that to him.
But if you do, I will laugh.
I did not say anything about doing this to Hillary because they have mobs, and those niggas will come and assassinate us.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna end up having committed suicide.
I heard somebody on that side of the table say things to do to Hillary.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like,
wasn't me.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Please see the disclaimer in the beginning of the video.
We're gonna read in the obituaries the next day. Will committed suicide by shooting himself in the back of the head with a shotgun.
How did he pull that
while he was tied up? I guess he's a magician.
While tied up and suspended.
Yeah, exactly.
he inevitably slit his wrist too after pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Time of death, we don't know.
What a legend.
That's wild. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, we're done. All right, so we got one more. And this is our main thing.
Oh my God. Here
We got a fucking Jussie Smollett update, unfortunately.
Justice was served.
This nigga's a fucking scumbag.
Justice was served.
If you truly feel like that, I hope your parents or your family has to suffer under a true victim of a hate crime.
No. Fair.
If you truly feel like that is a complete disrespect and disregard to people that actually suffer from hate crimes.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
There's people I argued with on Facebook about this that were actually still
This shouldn't
trying
be your
to
personal
defend
opinion. It should be everybody's
Still
fucking
trying
opinion.
to defend him.
If anyone has any the crazy thing is they dropped the charges, but they dropped the charges and they're saying they took in consideration the fact that he did some community service, he did stuff for the community, and that his bond, that what he used to bail himself out, that's being turned over to the city.
Ooh, wow. I wish I could just do some community service if I got 16 felonies.
Yeah. And you know the crazy thing is, the police didn't even know they were.
I know. Nor did the mayor.
Yeah,
they're both furious.
They both found out the same day. You know, recently the FBI is taking this case over now.
Well, the FBI has a different thing. They're investigating on the charges of him sending a threat to himself. So
No. The FBI is reviewing the circumstances surrounding the dismissal of the charges against Empire actor Jussie Smollett.
Good.
Two law enforcement officials have confirmed this.
All right, because didn't this happen in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah. So, that is the least corrupt city in all of America. So I don't know.
And where the fuck is Kanye?
You know the crazy thing about this too is that he got all this stuff. He got all his charges dropped and everything after one of Michelle Obama's constituents was working with them.
Yeah. She emailed them because she was like, I have some questions and concerns about the Jussie Smollett case. Also, they had actually sent a memo out ahead of time saying, "Hey, find out if there's any cases similar to this because we want to drop the charges." So like before they had even announced it.
Yeah, because they're saying nobody is in trouble. We are just looking for further examples. And that's they
had already reached a decision.
Yeah,
they're trying to justify it, and then they didn't even come out with any examples, to my knowledge.
Yeah, they have, and the thing is. And this is what's so crazy. And and I'm not insinuating that Michelle Obama had anything to do with anything in this. No, by no means.
It's whatever person.
Yeah, it's a person that by no
whose name is attached
to Michelle Obama. Yeah, that's just all it is. It's an individual who used to work for Michelle Obama is doing this.
Yeah, and that's just to point out that it's an individual with at least some
power and pull.
Some power. And it's like, okay, it's not Michelle Obama telling you this, but if you were working there, like you've got people
if you worked with the first lady, you obviously have some significant pull, and especially in the political department, and it's just it's infuriating.
And that's also where like Obama was from. I mean, he was like a community organizer there, right, in Chicago.
Yeah, it's so infuriating. I can't fucking stand the fact and he's going around telling everyone he's innocent.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
He's
spinning
still the whole story.
And by the way, him getting the charge getting dropped does not make this nigga innocent.
Yeah,
no,
they explicitly said he is not exonerated from these charges.
But people are acting like he is.
Yeah. And it's because
him doing it is bad
fucking
enough.
stupid.
I know him doing it is bad enough. It's all the people that are still supporting him is just like
I better not be one of these fucking supporters.
They're here. They're in this town, man. The people I was arguing with.
Don't make me go on
Facebook, but they're here.
Don't make me go on a witch trial. Go to the mall. Which one of y'all think that nigga innocent?
Please don't go to a mall. Mall's had enough shootings already. All right, we don't need any more.
That's going to be our first video with actual video. We're going to go out there. We're going to be like, we're going to interview people. You think he innocent? 30 seconds. Let's go outside. 30 seconds.
We'll make sure.
We could actually do that.
I may.
I'll wear it.
I will make
I'll wear it.
our podcast shirt, our first podcast shirts, if we start selling, may say just fuck Smollett. Like, I fucking hate him. Like, it's so fucking ludicrous. This is actually ludicrous that we have it. Like, in what world do you have, especially when we have I can understand, right? I can personally understand this getting swept under the rug and pushed aside if it wasn't such a high profile case, right? Yeah. If it wasn't such a high profile case, I could see this happening and just getting swept away. But one, why would you risk being in any kind of law enforcement or political? Why would you risk your career being tagged next to an individual for a corrupt case? It's like, this is not, in my opinion, he's not someone worth losing my career over.
Yeah. No, he's not.
So
it can't be him. It has to be like some of the clout that was pulled.
Exactly. And so as soon as and let's not fucking act like, people aren't smart. Any fucking individual that think they're smart enough to outsmart, like the whole thing with, just for instance, PewDiePie and T-Series were having this whole thing because the subscription to PewDiePie. At one point in time, well, he is losing. He's losing by I think 9,000 subscribers now.
It was like 30,000 on the list.
Well, yeah,
it
so
just keeps growing.
Yeah, but he keeps losing.
And you keep having too many people. Just stop trying to fuck.
Well, but what's happening? What happened was there's a group of hackers, right, that locked millions of people out of their personal information. Yeah. And the only way to get access to it, encrypted all their information. Yeah. And the only way to get access to it was for them to subscribe to PewDiePie. And I shit you not. This was a real thing that happened.
Should we do this? I've heard of that. I've heard of that scam where it says it'll delete everything unless you
Yeah, no, it happened. The first one was fake. The second one was real.
So see, this is what happens when you put fake news. You give people the ideas.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
But those people who did that, they got real scared. The second people, because everyone was like, "Hey, we're gonna call the police." Then they actually got out the encryption key to it.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is why the reason I bring up that point is that if you have people that are willing to lock millions of people out of their personal information for a fucking subscription, imagine what these people would do because you guys didn't want to just look. It's one fucking dude. Alright, he's not even someone really that fucking important. Okay, I'm sorry he was a big part in a show that you really liked. But because of the fact that the climate,
they made him out of a lot of episodes anyway.
Yeah. And not only that is that the fact is like you're pandering to a climate that he's already shit on. He's literally shit on everything that you possibly could have stood for, right? And now you're sticking your neck out for him. And could possibly end your career and anyone tagged to you,
right?
For a guy whose career's over. It's over.
It's just not. He's not even worth it. The thing that pisses me off. We talked about this, but he was perfectly ready to send 2 innocent people to jail.
Yeah,
he was 100% ready.
And they said they feel betrayed too, 100%.
He needs to be in jail because he's clearly he's got something wrong with him. He's like a fucking psychopath or something.
Did you guys actually see his? Did you actually
watch his interview? Yes, I watched his fucking interview.
Look, he was like, if I did half of the things that I was accused of, I wouldn't be the son that my mom raised or something.
See, that's a classic liar's tactic.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about. It's the same thing R. Kelly was doing.
Yeah.
Just you try to rationalize.
I almost believed R. Kelly.
Yeah, man, the way
because of how R. Kelly looked. he had like a smugness about him that he was just like
that. I hate him so bad, man. I really do, and I hate him from the deepest part of my. I really, really do. If I've never wanted to wish evil on an individual. Yeah, it's so bad in my life, but because like he's making fun of the situation. He's making
a mockery of it.
He is.
He's making a mockery of hate crime.
He really is. And I'm a strong believer in that, look, you settle your own disputes and not everything should be considered a hate crime. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when things happen and it's already hard enough to get convictions due to the fact that people don't know what the gray line for a fucking hate crime is, and then you go out here and you just parade this fake shit going on, it doesn't help the case.
It doesn't.
It doesn't, by no means. Like, one, people are already skeptical of what is considered a hate crime. And now at this point in time, they got to be skeptical about whether this person's even telling the fucking truth. Well, we should already have some level of skepticism to an extent. But nonetheless, like, I can't fucking stand him. I cannot fucking stand it. And I cannot stand whoever helped him out.
Well, what he's politicizing it. Is really what it is, because he's like, they were wearing MAGA hats and this and that.
Yeah.
And then it's not even real. It turns out it's not even real.
So he's trying to politicize that type of hat.
He's trying to politicize the whole concept of a hate crime.
Which,
I mean, other people have already tried to do with fake ones, but... Sorry, what were you saying?
It further pushes, like, the narrative of, like, always believing somebody who's a victim or something like that. Since there's no consequences for somebody who
well, there are consequences.
There's supposed to be.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we try to implement those consequences, something happens to get this person out of the fucking. You got to fucking get out of jail free card.
Well, you know why? It's because he's rich as shit.
He's realistically, let's be realistic. It's because he's black. This is one of the few times I'd hate to say it. He got out of this because he's black.
I would normally agree with you.
Fiendish dog.
Well, I mean, I'd be inclined to agree with you, but I'm just never on the that's never my go-to thing. Because if you look, there are other people that faked hate crimes or whatever that were minorities, and they got charged and stuff like that. The reason he did is because he's famous, he's a celebrity, and he's got money. And so people always want to talk about this privilege or that privilege. There's only one privilege. It's money. Yeah. It's your social class. It's how much money you have.
I'd rather be rich and guilty than broken innocent.
Exactly. Exactly.
I just think I agree with you. I agree with that in that aspect. But I also venture to say that I think because of the level of attention this got, this is really what it came down to. If it was any other fucking individual and it didn't get this amount of attention, I think we'd see someone being convicted right now.
And to also add to what you were saying, I think that probably I think the fact that he's black is why so many people are just so vehemently defending this guy.
Yeah, because he's black. We need to draft.
Is this guy been white?
He's Indian now.
No one's gonna be head over just going way out of their way to try to defend someone to the point of viciousness, calling you a racist if you don't stand by Jussie Smollett, which is the stupidest fucking thing in the world. But racist doesn't mean anything now. Anyway,
it was that we had that incident when we were talking about the kids that tortured the black kids that tortured the white kids.
Yeah.
Or that white kid.
Yeah.
When they kidnapped and tortured and they got found and they brought on the charges that they were charging these kids with, people were outraged and were mad because of the fact that they were charging these kids with such heavy charges. And so they're and people were mad. They're they're just kids and this and this and that. No, they're kids that did an adult action that carries adult consequences.
Yeah.
And so I say all that to say this is the fact that
the reason we have the delineation between charging as kids and adults is for understanding how wrong something is. You don't have to be that old to understand that torturing someone is just completely wrong.
I agree. I agree, and like I said, I say all that to say this is the fact that
unless you're the CIA, please don't kidnap me and torture me.
But him being them being that climate of what it was and that how they were trying to defend they don't deserve that kind of sentence because it was mainly because the black community, not black community, people were trying to defend them because they were black.
Yeah. I was gonna say plenty of. There's plenty of white people.
They were trying to defend them because they're black, and I think this is the same thing that's happening with Jussie Smollett. And I thoroughly.
I think it's more of the gay community trying to, because I see a lot of black people that were outraged because of the thing. Like, I think it was more of the gay community that rode for him and was like, I need this to be true because of.
But
we're losing ammo.
It's also because his family's also very powerful.
Well, I
don't know. I don't know much about his family.
I know they raised the fuck.
I have seen far more black people that are outraged than like supporting him. So I can kind of see what you're saying there. I don't know. I haven't really talked to that many like gay people or whatever. But it's not the ones that cared about it. The few that I talked to were like, who? Like, what do you mean who?
He did all this and people still saying who?
Yeah, there's still some people who are like, who's Jussie Smollett? So
that's because
fuck you, Jussie.
That's because he plays rich and he lives in a vacuum.
No, I was talking about gay people. There's some gay people that I knew that were like didn't know. Never mind.
But talking about what you were talking about with the black kids who tortured that white kid.
News.
They got people were upset about the charges, right?
Yeah.
And then there was that
well-spoken.
that group of
man, you speak so well.
There's no way he's lying.
That group of white boys who were screaming and spewing all this nonsense at that was it Aborigines or and they released their addresses.
Yeah, they got dogged.
They got dogged, and that doesn't seem like an equal crime to that.
It is. And you know the thing with docking is that a lot of times the information.
Docking or doxing?
Doxing.
Those are very different things.
They got doxed. They got forcefully doxed.
One is legal.
And it's not the one that should be legal.
Doxing is
I don't care what you do with your private.
Doxing in general, in my opinion, your information's out there.
Yeah.
Right? If at any point in time you put your information out there, you should be understandably not surprised.
Yeah,
if someone acquires it.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like I don't feel like doxing to an extent should be a criminal offense to an extent. I
don't know.
Your information, you put your information out there. When you got your phone, right? It will ask name, address, phone number, right? You put that out there. Now that's personal information. I get that.
Yeah.
When we got your email,
that's supposed to be protected and encrypted information.
Correct.
So
even signing up for an email in some and like a lot of times in a lot of terms and conditions, even for if you didn't know, Yahoo Mail. The reason Yahoo Mail is such a shitstorm of a failed process.
Damn, Yahoo's still around?
Exactly. It's because they fake update their security.
Really?
They fake updates. You know their terms and conditions don't protect your information, right?
But I use that for my alt accounts on my.
It doesn't. I'm just saying. But at any point in time, you had Ymail. Whatever information you put in Ymail is not. You're not protected. So I mean, but that's what that's why I deal with so many customers that have fucking Ymail, and I tell them don't have Ymail, go to Gmail. Reason being is because Ymail does fake security updates, right? And it literally, what they do is they try to download more like malware protection. And I don't understand why a whole fucking like email server needs malware protection to like that makes no sense to me. And it's ridiculous. But what ends up happening inadvertently, it slows down the emailing process. So if you email someone with Ymail, you'll actually get emails slower or sending slower because of the fact that there's so much bullshit throughout the processing of that email going out, because it has to go through its own malware protection to send the fucking email. You don't need malware protection.
Don't come at us.
What the fuck do we do?
I believe my Yahoo's got right now. Come across this table.
But I like I said, doxing to an extent. But we're beyond the point of like I really hope Jussie Smollett gets doxed, and I hope people go to his house and just camp out there.
Or something.
Yeah, I'm not asking for violence. You go out there and
you're gonna take his dog.
Yes, go
we
to
need to
his
find that
fucking
kid
house.
that shit in the slide and send him up there.
You
were born for this.
I want people to make his fucking life miserable. I want people outside his fucking door every fucking day. We know what you did.
Please
we know what you did. that man goes to work or tries to go. We know what you did. That man takes a shit. I want someone to pop up from the other side. We know what you did.
I hope he gets shaved like on Game of Thrones.
I want him to go to fucking Starbucks, get a coffee, and instead of it having his name on it, say, we know what you did.
Kanye West, make a song called "We Know What You Did."
Look. I don't think we're gonna get any justice. Gambino. I really don't think we're gonna get any fucking justice at this point. And it's a fucking shame.
The FBI.
I mean,
unless he
we like to fucking believe.
It's kind of a national organization.
Look, Clay.
You could get AIDS from
you can't bribe someone that has shit on everyone.
Yeah.
You try to bribe them, it's like, I already got dirt on you.
I hate JoJo, dude.
I'll blackmail you. You don't bribe me, I blackmail you for what I want. Yeah. You don't control the FBI, man. Oh my God.
Good. Clay didn't hear what I said.
Just inject him with some.
What was that?
Occasionally.
I said he could get AIDS because of butt sex.
I'm glad we stopped so that you could say that. Thank you, JoJo.
Why? The more you know.
We need the cure for AIDS, man.
We need the more you know symbol to pop up as soon as JoJo said that. He could get the AIDS for the butt sex. The more you know. But like,
he gets the measles.
I want someone to.
I hope he's not vaccinated.
I'll take it away from him.
Do y'all know the Hey Scotty meme? The one was like from Last Chance to See. It's like an old Christian thing, or he's like, "Hey Scotty," and the guy looks over and he's like, "Jesus, man." Yeah. Oh yeah. I want y'all to do that, but put JoJo quotes. So instead of Jesus, man, just put like random dog shit that JoJo said on the podcast.
I love that. I love that she can just freeze frame.
Yeah. Just have him. One fish, two fish, red fish, whatever the fuck he said.
In other words, quit being a head ass.
In other words, I might do this shit myself. I might start making some of these memes.
We need to get a Twitter account. Just
tweet memes.
JoJo tweets.
We do need to start making memes.
We are going to make our social media. We will have that out there in the description and sometime in the future.
Yeah, whenever
I already have.
You know,
whenever we get around to
at my job, they've recently been demanding us sell like these thing called plus one. So if we have like a natural sale of something, they want us to add on something. And so they've been like, "Will, we need you to start selling stuff." And I was like, "Is it because I was a car salesman?" And they're like, "No, you just have the most charisma. You could produce it." So I started selling pens, right? I took pens and attached to every fucking order we made, right? And each little thing had like a little insert, and it writes, "We recommend," and I just wrote pens, and we recommend pens for, and then you could write a long insert of stuff. So every person that's read my insert has bought a pen so far. And the reason I say this is because my inserts have been wild. One of them said pens, and it says we recommend pens because it's a fucking pen. I actually wrote fucking pen on there, but like PHUCKNING fucking pen. And then look, well, I guess I'm gonna have to buy this. One of them said, it's like pens. It says we recommend pens because I have a fever. And the only prescription is more pens from that SNL skit.
Yeah, the cowbell.
And then also one said, to buy the pen or not to buy the pen? That is the question. Stop asking dumb questions and buy the fucking pen. So, only reason I brought that up is because we're going to put these memes up there. And I've been just low-key hitting people with some sauce on just buying these pens. One lady's like,
Will's up there like Hustle Man.
I love Hustle Man. That is my favorite character besides Bro Man from the 5th floor. No, not that. Bro Man from the 5th floor.
There's only 4 fingers, JoJo.
Bro Man from the 5th floor.
1, 2, 3, 4. I see that. I'm counting because they can't see it.
None. Just hungry. So I make myself a sandwich.
I just don't want to talk about Jesse anymore because
just lock him up.
They're not gonna fuck him.
Lock him up.
Go torture.
Hashtag fuck Jesse.
Yeah.
Or hashtag fuck Smollett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't doing another podcast until we're in jail.
No.
We need to start like a hashtag. We know you what you did. Just hashtag. We know what you did.
Yeah.
I just want them. I just want this nigga to go around everywhere and just be random things. You
Just
pick up a
tweet at
newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
We know what you did. I want people to randomly text this man. We know what you did.
Yep.
I want him not to feel safe. I want him not to feel safe.
I want someone. You know how those planes have those banners that they draw behind him? I want a plane with one of those banners they draw behind him. It says, "We know what you did." Just fly around his house like 24.
I have little kids coming up.
Do like a mid-air refueling.
Did.
Do a mid-air refueling.
I need
the pilot just pissed out the window.
His mailman comes up.
Yeah, I know what you did last summer.
No, I know that one, but like there's something else that I forgot exactly.
It's too late.
Oh, okay.
I'm old.
Yeah, it is getting late.
I'm
We don't
looking
have
for.
anything to add.
I'm looking for. There's a song called "I Know What You Did." I need that song.
I can't play that because of.
I'm not playing it now, but I'm just saying I need for that song.
Play that song on your own time and pretend like we did it.
Yeah.
Just open it on another tab.
And it's by Fall Out Boy. I want Fall Out Boy to follow this man for like a solid hour.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking about shit? Go ahead. No, keep talking.
I want Fall Out Boy to follow them for at least a solid hour singing that song about how they know what he did. That's all I need. Look, man, I just want to cause as much inconvenience. We're not going to get the justice in court. That's just not going to happen. I need him inconvenienced as much as possible. That's all I need. You don't have to hurt him. Don't go fucking kill him. Don't fuck him or anything.
I think you're thinking of Don't You Know. I think you're thinking of Don't You Know Who I Think I Am.
Oh, well, there's another one. There's someone find a song that has the word phrase, "We know what you did," multiple times. Someone make a fucking song. You know what? I'm going on Fiverr. I'm going on Fiverr. And I'm going to ask someone to make me a song called "We Know What You Did."
Some man with an acoustic.
And that'll be the end.
Yeah.
That'll be the
I really want you. Don't listen. Bleep out when Jojo said, and also when I said it too. I
didn't even catch him saying that. Earlier.
Yeah, he said it.
Why am I bleeping it out?
Yeah, bleep both of those out.
Why?
Because it's someone you know you don't want.
Oh yeah, well we can. I mean, it's not the person's actual name, but all right.
Yeah, we're bleeping that.
We're not giving that man clout.
No, man, we gotta have him on the show.
Nah.
Oh hell no.
Will's not even gonna let him in his house.
Nah, man.
He can podcast from outside.
Nah, man.
Yeah, we'll just get an extension cord. One of those really long USBs.
I don't want him to know where I live. Just in general. But I need this man inconvenience. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you like make eggs for a living. I want you to somehow
throw eggs in it.
You mean a chicken?
You did eggs?
No, or like
write on them.
Or fucking write on
big Easter eggs.
I want him to go to Burger King and he gives his name and they put on there, "We know what you did" instead. I need
or those things you can write on the eggs or whatever, but it doesn't show up. But it's not until you actually go to paint them.
Yeah, that shows up.
Yeah, the paint doesn't stick to the part that you wrote. So go get his eggs. It's "We know what you did." There's 5 of them, right? Okay, so go get his little 12-pack of eggs out of his fridge. Throw 2 of them away, and then just write "We know what you did."
Or you put exclamation points at
exclamation points. Yeah, you right. Just
an angry egg.
Just write that on. Just write that on all of them.
I
draw one of the eggs carrying an axe and say, "Check your closet."
You know, this. If we're looking at this from a different perspective, I'm not saying do this, but this would be a perfect time to actually do a hate crime towards. Have you ever heard of the boy who cried wolf?
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
I don't think it.
We are not advocating to commit a hate crime.
That's what I said
disclaimer at the beginning of the video.
That's what I said before.
I don't think it'd be smart to do a hate crime against him, because if he's an actual victim of a hate crime, it'd give us reason to sympathize for him.
Nah, because it's the boy who cried wolf. Nobody's gonna believe him.
Who cried wolf?
Nobody's gonna believe him.
Oh my God,
yeah, the people that already believe him now will believe him, and now have more ammo
The cops would be like, "Yeah, I'll get on that investigation."
He's actually got to pay the fine though. He's paying the fee, the fine. He's getting fined for the investigation cost. It's like $130,000.
Yeah, it'd just be like,
okay, good.
Just be like, "Hey,
now throw him in jail."
They really,
they will be.
They really beat me up. They really beat me up because I'm gay and black. Yeah, all right.
Get out of here, you scamp.
Just ruffle his hair.
Fool me once, shame on me. You ain't fool me.
Get out of here, kiddo.
Fool me can't get fooled again.
We know your game. Get on out of here. We know.
Get on here now.
Go on from here.
I hope it's someone from the police force. I hope it's someone from the police force. They protect their own. Them niggas definitely won't get caught.
That is true. This is the
they just give him a good one like Rodney King.
You know, and they don't make it sound even more exaggerated.
Oh,
the
Lord.
Police attacked me because I'm black and gay.
Yeah,
You're like,
sure. Now it's the police.
Who's next? The fucking Easter Bunny?
So that is the only legal privilege.
Teacher?
That is the only legal privilege that's better than being rich.
Bill
is
Cosby?
being
Your
part
mother?
of the police.
Yeah.
That is the only privilege above being rich is being part of the police force when it comes to the law. Because they will not. A cop could come into your house, shoot your dog, rape one of your kids, mace you in the face, right? And just run out for no reason. And there would still be people like, you don't understand what it's like for law enforcement.
Clay,
back the blue and whatever.
Clay,
The reason I say that. Now it's funny you say that. The reason I say that is because some cops actually did burst into someone's house that they didn't have a search warrant for.
Yeah,
they shot the person's dog and beat the person up or whatever.
I remember the old lady.
And people were still defending the cops.
I do remember that case. And that was wild.
I'm sorry I added the slight embellishment of raping your kid.
Yeah, raping the kid.
I'm sorry.
Embellishment.
Yeah.
It's not that far.
The raping the kid was a little far. The other ones, yeah, I can see that.
But I'm saying if they can do all this shit,
touching
my point is there's
children.
nothing they can do. There's nothing a cop can do where like they'll get universally condemned.
Did you hear
Shoot
about that
another
one
cop?
Still be people.
Shoot another cop.
Did you hear about that one cop?
Inception.
It's
We
the
have to protect and
It's the
convict
Ouroboros. It's the Ouroboros, but with a gun.
They're like, oh, how dare he shoot a cop, our friend? But that's our friend who would never shoot our friend. Shit.
It's like that one meme.
Compute.
Yeah, exactly. But not you.
It's like that one meme where the guys at the bar just.
With guns.
The gun is guilty.
Just a bunch of cops.
How dare that bullet do that?
And the gun shoots back. Whoa, he's fine.
They beat up the gun or the bulletproof vest
They'll beat up
that failed to protect him.
They'll beat up the gun for being black. How dare you be color?
They may shoot at it.
Yeah.
Freeze! He's got a weapon.
Who's shooting a gun?
All right, man.
He's got a
We're off
gun.
for
What
a
was that
random
fucking show we was watching?
It's late.
It's late as hell.
Oh, fuck. We was watching a show where, like, they were all cops. The fat one.
Paradise PD.
Paradise
Yeah,
PD.
that made me think about that episode because they did start beating up guns. They start shooting at other guns.
We need to do like our own Mythbusters episode. Go to the shooting range here and just ask them if we can like rent a gun. Like okay, pay for the rental fee or whatever, and then just clip it up there like the targets and just start shooting at the gun. Well, we paid for the rental fee fair and square.
You owe us for this guy. I rented it and now I'm returning it. What did you expect from
No,
me?
imagine if they don't even catch you. You just come back with a shot up fucking gun. All right, I had a good time. Y'all have a good one. What the fuck is that?
Just hand it to him. Hey guys, I don't know if you know. This thing kind of went out of control. We had to put it down.
No,
Just start talking about my mother.
Walk up to him, holding what's left. This one's broken.
It didn't shoot.
Or put
What's your return policy again?
you just have the paper with you. Yeah, you were wrong. Guns do hurt people.
All right, man. We've gotten so far off topic. And it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, the dog's staring at us like, ain't y'all niggas going home?
Yeah, like, keeping us up. So, all right. But I don't think anyone else has got anything to add, so we're going to go ahead and call it a night. We will be back in a week for episode 9.
Booyah.
Adios.
Peace.
Bye, people.
Goodbye.
Fuck up the podcast and go to sleep.
It's probably not going to be late whenever they're listening to
I
us.
don't know. It's late for us. I'm angry. I don't have my beer.
All right, night, everyone.